What is up, everybody? Welcome to that Wannabe Film Class, the show where we love movies. So each month we choose a theme and choose movies that fit the theme for us to talk about. Maybe it's a movie we love. Maybe it's a movie we've been dying to see. Maybe it's a movie we just find interesting. Or maybe it's none of the above, because this is the last episode and we're throwing all of that movie talk out the window. Hi, I am... I can't... This huge long list that I have.
You're this huge long list that I have? Wow, it's an honor to meet you.
That's exactly it, yes.
What's the origin of your name? Like, is it like a heritage of yours?
Shut up. I'm the villain vixen, the supervillain seducer, the asshole apologist, Chloe C. lover of robots, syndrome single simp, the handmaiden of doom, robot romancer, graphic design demigod, the one who shouts from the rooftops, Apex Legends is free, the queen of quizzical crushes, robo-love apologist, one whole third of the guys are guys, mother of noodles, the Apex legend, the woman with the lethal case of syndrome, the incel eliminator, the Decepticon deity, best girl on the internet only because the bot stopped being super active, and the damsel who may or may not be in distress, but it's okay because I'm handling it. Hi, I'm Chloe Naylor. How you doing? And this is Ben.
Hello. I have no title.
No.
I would have called you the Decepticon diva.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I thought you might.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Deity's good too.
Deity is also good.
But like, do you have the mentality of like a god?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No, I like to think so.
No, I don't agree.
Anyways, I asked everyone to give me more titles to add to my ever-growing list, and honestly, they
really
delivered.
did.
I love this shit. I'm gonna keep this.
Good. If nothing remains of that Wannabe Film Class after today, besides this, I will be content. Mm-hmm. This is our legacy. 5 years from now, you're like a super famous Twitch, whatever the fuck you do. I don't know.
Sure.
And yeah. And you have this and they're like, like you got this origin from Twitch. And you're like, no, let me tell you about a podcast.
Let me tell you about this little podcast that I did for about, what was it, 9 months? Something like that?
Sure.
Something like, a little less than a year. Math.
Yeah.
We talked about movies. We're like, Chloe, you've never seen a movie in your life. And it's like, it's crazy, right? Yeah. Anyways. Hi, Ben. How you doing?
But you have seen movies. You just haven't seen, like, the classics. And that's fine.
Yeah. I'm good without seeing them. Yeah. I'm a better person, actually.
I have a pitch for you, but also for Film Academia. Mm-hmm. Dearest Film Academia. Tear down everything you think you know about movies and rebuild a new catalog of classics, but have that catalog be created by women and people of color, because I think it'll be better movies. Also, it'll be more representative, but that's not even what I'm here to talk about. I just think it'll be better. Because you know what? You know what I noticed? I was on TikTok. Notice?
Ooh, as you are. Okay.
As I am. And someone made a TikTok about The Last Jedi being good. And I commented on the TikTok and I was like, give Rian Johnson Star Wars. Just all of it.
Okay.
And a bunch of people liked that comment. And you know what the majority of people who liked that comment were? Women. My position here is I think women just have better taste in movies.
That is also very true. And also they're hardcore sims for Kylo Ren, so that also makes sense. That
checks out. That is his simpiest movie.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I don't like it.
You're just like, fuck this guy.
Fuck it. As soon as he took the helmet off, I'm like, I'm done with you, actually. No.
That was the best moment. That's what wasn't the best moment. There were other better moments, but the Kylo Ren, the helmet. I get it from your perspective because you like long heads.
Yeah, that's what I'm discovering. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, you like the old long head, and I feel like, so I understand why you would hate the helmet coming off. Yes. I like it because until then it was just like, look, it's Vader, but not, and I was like, okay. I was like, this doesn't really make sense since Vader turned against the Sith anyway. So like, if he's really a Vader diehard, why would he be on this side? But okay.
Don't try to make sense of Star Wars ever.
That's fair. That is very fair.
That was your first mistake.
I'll stop talking about it now.
Exactly. Thank you.
What are we talking about, Chloe? I have no idea.
You have
It's
no
weird for me.
clue.
It's so strange.
This is funny. I thrive off of the chaos of just throwing you into a podcast where you know nothing. Yeah. So I have asked people to submit questions.
Sure.
Just for us to cover a couple of different topics. So we're just going to we'll just head right in for the Ask Chloe and Ben Anything segment.
Amazing.
Because there are a lot. So, first question.
That should be the Ask Ben and Chloe Anything. Actually, wait, no, Ask Chloe. Ask Chloe and Ben is ACAB.
You're right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I love this.
Welcome to the ACAB AMA, bitches.
Hey, what's up? ACAB, I love it. Hold on 1 second while I open this. It's a Truly. It's not a White Claw. ASMR.
Oh.
Right.
I'm just drinking straight whiskey.
Nice. I could dive into my dad's whiskey collection, but no.
I bought peanut butter whiskey, which was very bad. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing with the peanut butter whiskey. I don't think it was meant to be something you drink straight. Okay. I think it's just like it's very sweet. So by itself,
only drink it during June.
Too much for me.
Thank you. Please clap.
That was genuinely very funny, but
thank you.
But I think it's meant to be used as like a mixed drink. However, I don't really have anything to mix it with. So instead, I bought a cheap whiskey that's normal, Evan Williams. And then I mixed that with the Screwball peanut butter whiskey. So it's just like a very diluted version of that, it's not amazing, but it's fine.
Okay. Whatever works, you know?
Yeah. We're not here to be fancy. We're out here to be drunk.
Exactly. Drunk, I hope we get. I need to get drunk. So, first question. Why is Ben so tall? Every time I see him, I swear he gets taller. Why he gotta be so tall?
Well, first of all, I like to think it's karma because I spent my entire childhood being short. And I don't mean like, oh, you're a kid, you're short. I mean like within my grade, all throughout elementary school. You know, like when they would line up all the kids in elementary school for like whatever reason they had to. And they'd always line you up by height for some fucking reason.
You're always at the back of the line?
My entire grade would line up. And you would have these 3 very short girls. And then me. And then everybody else. So I was short until I was 16. I was short in middle school. I was short in the beginning of high school. I was also very overweight for all of middle school, a decent amount of high school, and the end of elementary school. Also, even in high school, when I stopped being like really overweight, it's only because I got taller. I was still pretty heavy. I didn't actually become skinny until like I was 20. So the point is karma. Karma looked at me and went, you know, that boy deserves a win. And you know what? Height was the only fucking win I got for 20 years of my life.
Fair. Okay. Or what you're not telling us is that you took a trip to the Wonka factory and you were the kid that got stretched by the Laffy Taffy machine. And you are still feeling the effects of that and you're actually growing every year.
You weren't supposed to know that.
I figured it out. That is why Ben is so tall, guys.
Fucking told you. I had a contract with Charlie C. Wonka.
It's just my intuition. It's crazy, you know? I just know things.
If anyone wants to know, the C in Charlie C. Wonka is Cornelius. He is Charlie Cornelius Wonka. That's right. Wonka did adopt him.
Even though, okay. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
He adopted him. Yeah. You know, rich people be doing things.
You know, that's true. They do be doing things. I wish they'd stop sometimes.
I wish they would stop a lot of times.
Yeah, that is also very true. Second question comes from Andrew Cogswell. So y'all siblings?
Sure.
Yes. For anyone that doesn't get that, last time we all hung out in San Francisco, right before the pandemic happened, we were hanging out with the Cogswells. Some dude passed us on the street and was like, y'all siblings?
I'd forgotten about that until you said the question again. It's like, it's funny when we're talking about it as the two of us, because it's not weird for the two of us to be siblings. But the other people in that group were Andrew and his wife, and me and Ava. So,
yeah. We're all just one big happy family.
Oh, please never say that to me ever again.
So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're all going to move in together in like a huge house. It's going to be great.
I'm listening. Okay. I mean, I'll do that.
Yes. Yeah. In either Europe or Asia, and we open a bakery. /
bookstore.
/ bookstore, whatever we want. Exactly.
You need the bakery. You need the bakery cafe, I feel like, because I don't know how long bookstores will survive. So I don't want to bank all of our money in the bookstore. However, I also deep down want to own a bookstore. So
you can also own a bookstore, but if we're like living in the mountains in the middle of nowhere where there's no like signal or anything, don't have to worry about phones or any like Kindles, books. Exactly.
That's true.
We are unplugging from the internet and I'm never looking back.
You could move somewhere with internet and just not use social media.
No internet. It's not allowed, actually. Mm-hmm.
That's a thing, sure.
Yeah.
But how will I get my TV and movies?
Oh, no. Fuck. I guess this is a movie podcast. I guess we need movies. Fine. Sometimes forget about it.
What if we go into the middle of nowhere in Bend and then we just go to the last Blockbuster whenever we need it?
Okay.
They probably have Wi-Fi throughout all of Bend, but if we just don't set up Wi-Fi in our house, yeah,
exactly, that'll work out. I think
anywhere can be internetless if you try hard enough.
That's true. Next question.
Sure.
Comes from Anonymous. What does the next chapter look like besides being cooler than everyone else?
I feel like we should go with you first, seeing as you have things you're doing, and also you're the cooler one here.
I do things? What?
Yeah.
You call me cool? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm cool.
I did, yeah. Congratulations.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Yeah. And this like validates all of your high school experience since you were a loser.
It's true. Whack.
It's fine, so was I.
We were losers in high school. Look at us now. We're losers on the internet.
Haha. Upgrades, people. Upgrades.
Exactly. Shout out to robots. Oh, man. We should be... we'll get to that later. What am I... Dude, I'm streaming on Twitch. Doing stuff on, like, the roosterteeth.com. That's pretty whack.
You are doing stuff on the roosterteeth.com.
Yeah.
She's out here.
I'm out here. A couple weeks ago, if you missed it, I was on a Achievement Hunter stream with Fiona Nova. And that was pretty great. We played Apex Legends. And Iffy.
Iffy seems cool.
He does seem... He's cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say seem cool. No, he's cool.
I mean, like, you met him once on the internet. I feel like
online.
Seems cool is still a fair statement.
Yeah, we were talking about feet and pickle sandwiches. You did. We did.
He was like, you're probably on WikiFeet. And then I was like, I don't like this. And then I checked to see, and you were not. So that's good.
So far, I am not. But the more we keep talking about it, the more I think I'm going to end up on there pretty soon.
Fuck, that's true. Let's drop this conversation.
Yeah. All right, continuing on. Yes, I will. Honestly, that's what I just plan on doing in the future. Otherwise, I'm like, future? What the fuck are you talking about?
Time?
No. Time? No. The passage of time is fake. Dude, all I do is sit down a couple days a week, play Apex Legends, or watch stupid Sonic fan dubs and get drunk on Fridays.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly.
I have no idea what I'm doing because my life is a fucking mess and everything I have planned is falling apart around the seams.
Woo!
But I'm probably I'm applying to grad school. I need to write a play for that application because I'm applying for playwriting. And I need a full play to submit with that application. I hate you. So I don't entirely know what I'm doing besides that. For at least for the next few months, my focus is I need a play written, and also I need a place to live. But aside from that, who fucking knows?
I'm sure the viewers at home would love to offer you a place to live if you need it.
Oh God. But yeah, I'm also hearing myself echoing back at myself through your headphones / speaker / mic.
How in the fuck?
I don't know, but I hear it.
Okay, because this is like quiet in my ears.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think sound carries through like the wires So like
It
the wire
might, because I have the headphones plugged into the mic rather than like the monitor. So that could be.
Who can say?
And I don't really want to unplug it and fix it because that would stop the recording. So if you're okay with just hearing yourself echo,
I'll figure it out. I'll deal with it.
Sounds good. As long as it's not like picking up, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, I mean, it probably is picking up, but it was also picking up last episode and I just fixed it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I might want to make more podcasts, but what that podcast would be, who fucking knows? Who knows? I also want to make content. I want to make content with you, but also we're busy. We're busy people. But I do love you dearly, and I enjoy doing this with you, even if this podcast specifically was way too much work.
Did y'all hear something? I think I heard something from Ben. Something really nice he said. Wow, that's weird. Okay.
That doesn't sound like me. I'm pretty sure I said something like, fuck off, you raging asshole. You're not actually funny.
Yes.
And your love for Grievous is fucking weird.
It's weird and it's fake, honestly.
That's not true. I get the Grievous thing.
Thank you. Can't believe that's one of the normal ones now.
It is one of the normal ones. Also, I saw a response to you on my For You page, that TikTok you did. Mm-hmm. It's just like every so often a new one will pop up my For You page and I'm like, oh, another. Nice.
Cool. I love it. God, I'm still getting comments from that. I love the people that are like, seek therapy. Something's wrong with you. Can't believe a girl is pretending to be this quirky. And I'm like, I think I'm faking this. Oh my God. No, this is genuinely my taste.
I'm just fucking nuts.
Exactly. It's fine.
You can't fix crazy, man.
You really can't.
Yeah.
No.
Have you gotten any cool TikTokers responding?
I think cool TikToker is an oxymoron.
Popular TikTok. That's not true. They're like, okay, they're probably like dorky, but like they're the dorky that you look at and you're like, you're cool. Like Soupy Time is cool.
Fair. Honestly, I have no idea. I've kind of stopped looking at my notifications.
That's fair.
Because it's getting very popular.
You have like a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can only handle so many comments from one platform. Start looking at all of them from everything. I'm going to lose it.
I don't understand how people with any level of clout on the internet deals with it. Because it's just like anytime one of my tweets is blown up, I'm just like constantly looking at it because I'm constantly being notified. And I'm like, how do you do anything with your day?
You don't. That's all you do is look at that. And it's sometimes you hit your breaking point. You're like, you know what? I gotta not look at anything for a weekend. And it's really liberating.
Existence, yeah.
Exactly. It's great.
Makes sense.
Anyways, next question. You would direct each other's biopics. I don't know how you say it. Biopics. Who would Ben cast as Chloe and who would Chloe cast as Ben?
Ooh.
Any white man with a beard.
Wow, first of all.
Am I wrong?
Are we, I don't know, like, are we trying to be accurate to like time where it's like, okay, no one who plays Chloe could be older than Chloe now because that wouldn't make sense? Or could I cast someone who's like, okay, in your case, could you cast Ewan McGregor for me and be like, yeah, Ewan McGregor is playing like Ben when he's like 40, even though logically, he could never play me when I'm 40 because when I'm 40, he'll be like, I don't fucking know, 70.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We have CGI and de-aging technology.
Well, I just feel like it's also that for us to cast someone who's younger than us, it kind of like limits it a lot. So I feel like we have to just break the constraints of time. But
just ignoring time and all of that, just somebody who you think just resembles the other person.
Who would I cast as you?
It's funny you actually said Ewan McGregor. That was my thing.
Haha.
You stole it, white man.
Oh.
Stealing everything.
If I was clean shaven, I would say David Tennant.
That is also very true. Yeah. But it's the beard.
I used to get that a lot, and then I grew a beard, and now no one says it to me, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Time to shave it. Hear it again.
God, please no.
No, you don't want to shave your beard anymore?
No, you met me when I had a clean shaven face. I'm not a fan.
You look like a baby.
I know.
I think the last time I saw you without a beard was the first time I met you.
That's true. No
27?
prom.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Listen, I blocked prom out from my memory, so I don't really know.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. You're also drunk for a lot of it, so it's just like...
That is also very true. I was drunk that entire fucking week. As was a lot of people.
The entire day of prom, I was never sober. We went to... Like, from the time we got to the food trucks where I started downing...
Sangria?
I started downing sangria. Thank you. I forgot the word.
Hey, good.
To prom, I was just gone. There was one point where I was like... not drinking anymore in between going to sushi and prom. However,
ramen, actually.
I'd been you're right, it was ramen, thank you. However, I'd been drinking for so long and I was tired that my brain wasn't like sobering up. It was just kind of shutting down.
Okay.
So it doesn't really count. Yeah.
That's fair. You also lost your glasses that night. That was funny.
I did lose my glasses. It's fine though. These glasses are much better.
Nice.
I don't know. My brain's first thought was Margot Robbie, but I feel like there's better options.
Okay.
I know some people have compared you to Blake Lively. I'm going to be honest. I don't see it.
Okay.
But it's also I don't just want to cast someone who I feel like can looks like you. I want to cast someone who I feel like can play you. And I don't know if I've seen Blake Lively. Like, I haven't seen her act that many times. But when I have seen it, I don't feel like she gives me the vibe of like she can play you. Obviously, actors are actors and can play different like energies.
Right.
But sometimes they're better at it and sometimes they're not. And without being able to like actually audition her, I can't say if she is or not.
They gotta play
my
a
first
nut
thought's
job.
Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I also got in comparisons to Yvonne. I don't know how to say her last name. She plays
Strahovski.
Miranda. Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
The blonde. Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not saying like Margot Robbie is like your celebrity lookalike, but I feel like Margot Robbie is similar enough, especially right now because you have blonde hair. Yeah. I feel like Margot Robbie is similar enough. And I feel like from what I've seen of her acting performances, I feel like she can get the VU vibe down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like anything in like Harley Quinn? Like that fucking...
Honestly, no.
Okay.
I'm thinking more like a combination of I, Tonya and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay. Both those I have not seen, but all right.
Like, yeah.
I'll take it.
I'm not saying you would attack somebody like she does in I, Tonya. Or like she doesn't technically, but like...
No, I'll break a kneecap. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. I'll take it. Cool. There we go. There's our... Oh, man. I would love to just cast a whole movie about myself. Whoever one else would be. Ooh, fucking whack.
What if we just start a new podcast and all we do every week is fan cast things? We're like, who should be the cast of the Uncharted movie? I know they already have a cast, but it sucks. So
it sucks. I refuse.
It sucks.
The only thing it should be Jake Gyllenhaal as Rafe. And that's as far as I've gotten. You know,
Helen Mirren as that one woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also very good. Love it. Continuing on, we have a question from Harry, not Styles. If Chloe and Ben could go back to the cinema to watch any movie for the first time again, what would it be and why?
I'm going to only choose movies that I actually did see at the cinema.
Okay.
Because I feel like it skews it if I'm like, I want to see Sing Street on the big screen. Because I didn't see it until I rented it at home. So I'm going to focus on movies specifically that like I saw in theaters. I don't know. Part of me wants to say Infinity War or Endgame.
I was going to say Endgame because that was a really fun experience.
That's the thing with Endgame and Infinity War is like, I like those movies more in the moment than I do like in retrospect. So I think those would benefit the most from me going back in time and like rewatching them without knowing anything because I'll like them the most. Whereas like I love Little Women, but I don't think Little Women will really benefit from me watching it again without knowing anything because a lot of my love for it has grown with time. Okay. So maybe Last Black Man in San Francisco because that really like fucked with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I would love, Endgame. Dude, I still wish I could have gone back and seen Darker Than Moon. Ooh.
I might go back and see Parasite again without knowing anything.
That'd be fun.
That might be it. That might be the poll. That shit
I want to
fucked
have
me up.
a movie marathon in a theater. My friends watching my favorite movies, because honestly, that'd be a great time.
You really need to move to Los Angeles, because you understand we have theaters that just play old movies. All they do is be like, hey, it's the weekend. Here's like Indiana Jones, or here's Paddington 2, or here's Parasite in black and white. That's like, there's multiple movie theaters that specifically just play movies that aren't normally in movie theaters.
It's pretty cool, actually.
It's fucking lit. Los Angeles is just movie nerds, the city.
Okay. See, I think I'm not a movie nerd, you know?
But I feel like you
say
are.
On my movie podcast. Okay.
Yes, but also I feel like you are. You're not like a film bro, and you're definitely not like a filmmaker, like academic type. But I feel like you do like movies. You just don't like the ones that are like super high regarded. But that's still liking movies, and your tastes are valid.
Thank you.
There are definitely people like, I just bought a bunch of shirts from superyaki.com. Highly recommend. She's great. Mm-hmm. And she makes a bunch of like movie themed shirts. And like, sure, some of the movies she talks about are like, some of the shirts she makes are like, you saw my Parasite shirt with just like Bong Joon-ho on it. Oh, he's accepting an award. But some of the shirts that she just released, and some of the ones I bought, include, I bought a Birds of Prey shirt that says Birds of Prey for your consideration. Okay. I bought a shirt that says written and directed by Ryan Johnson in the Knives Out font. Nice. Ava bought a shirt that says Spider-Man 2 soundtrack is my emo dad. And then the back of the shirt is just the entire track listing of Spider-Man 2. Oh my God, I love that. And yes. And the other shirt Ava bought is The Lighthouse. It's a speech that Willem Dafoe gives in The Lighthouse, written in the Star Wars crawl font with like stars and everything. Amazing. It is. Other shirts they made that just came out include a Spy Kids shirt with a quote on the back from Roger fucking Ebert talking about how good it is. Nice. And the front is just like, you know those glasses that say like bad boy on them? Yes. It's just that in like green neon font. I'm going to have to go buy some shirts after this, I think. And like other shirts they've made include like a National Treasure themed shirt. And like there is a community of people who are obsessed with movies, but respect the kind of movies you like and think that they deserve more appreciation than we give them. So I think that I think you would find that in Los Angeles, because I do think you like movies. I just think you don't like what we consider like the high art movies. And this also goes back to me saying that the version of high art movies that we have in America is very built by white men. And like, I love some of those movies, but that does not mean that they are the only movies worth liking. Very true. That actually leads perfectly into our next question from Jack David. What is the generally agreed upon worst movie that you still enjoy? Like, everyone knows it's bad, but you don't care. There's so many. Ooh. I feel like I don't have that many. Like, I love the 2017 Power Rangers movie. A lot of the reviews for it aren't great. The problem is I know a lot of people who like that movie. And the other problem is I don't watch that movie and go, this is a bad movie, but I like it. I watch that movie and go, this is a good fucking movie. And the fact that it got shitty reviews is bullshit. Correct. It's just Breakfast Club with Power Rangers. Like, how can you go wrong with that? That's perfect. You can't. It's a good movie. Exactly. Oh, God. Yeah, no, but like, it's a well-known thing that I really like the Transformers movies. Those are objectively bad, but I also really love them. I think the thing is, I think your love for Venom is worse than your love for Transformers. That's also true. I forget about him all the time. I'm so fucking sorry. That movie's so good. I don't know what y'all are talking about. It's so good. I think it's a worse movie than the Transformers movies, except like the bad ones that you also know are bad. Yeah, no, I won't talk about the Mark Wahlberg ones because I don't even like those. No, Venom, I love. Everyone else fucking hates. Yes, thank you. That is my answer. Okay. Okay.
So good. So funny.
It is quite bad.
It is hilarious to me that everyone else absolutely hates it. And honestly, that explains so much of like things I like. I just like even more when people are like, oh, that's weird, or I hate that. I'm like, oh, time to go into spite mode.
I feel like that's kind of human. Like, I unapologetically love The Last Jedi, and I unapologetically love Paddington 2. But there's definitely aspects to like my love for those movies that are just people push against it so hard that I double down.
Yeah.
Like when like for a long time, I considered Empire the best Star Wars movie.
Okay.
And then people kept arguing with me about it, and it cemented Last Jedi as my favorite Star Wars movie. And I can understand the argument for Empire being the best.
Yeah.
I still think Last Jedi is the best, but I definitely got pushed there more because people argued with me constantly. And at Paddington, people are just like, you like the bear movie? And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've talked about it before, but that's where like the General Grievous thing basically came from. It's like, oh, I like him. People are like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I really like him.
Oh, here we go.
Like, here we go. Time to really open up this pit, y'all. And it's been a ride ever since. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's see what we got next. From Christian, who is our ex-coworker, I guess now. That picks up Brave.
Ex-editor of this podcast.
Exactly. Chloe, a big meme on the show is how you don't watch movies and yet are hosting a movie podcast. Is there another subject you're more familiar with that you'd maybe want to tackle podcasting about in the future? I don't know about shit about fuck.
I feel like you have a lot of skills, but they aren't things you can really like put words to.
Yeah. No, because the original pitch was like, you want to do a movie podcast? Like, and I'm like, yeah, I can talk about movies.
Yeah.
I can make shitty jokes about movies. It's me talking about movies.
Yeah.
But like, I'm trying to think, like, you know, the things that come to mind are like, people are like, what do you like to do for fun? Like video games. But like, compared to everyone else we know, I don't play video games.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I don't freaking know. You could do an exclusively Apex Legends podcast.
Crazy. Who would think to do that?
I feel like a lot of people. I feel like those exist.
I mean, okay, Beast has done one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if that's, yeah. But, I could do that. I could talk about Uncharted 4 for days.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just do a movie podcast, but each month you talk about one, or a video game podcast, but each month you talk about one video game. So you have like 4 episodes just talking about Uncharted 4, and then 4 episodes just talking about Apex, and then 4 episodes just, and so on and so forth. I
could do that. I could also do that with movies. That's true. 1 month dedicated to a single movie. I could absolutely do that. Listen, y'all want 4 episodes of me dissecting Incredibles? I can do it.
Yeah. But no, again, that's my point is like, I feel like you do love movies. You just love the movies you love, and you've grown up in a culture that tells you like, hey, those aren't valid, and that's bullshit.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's not like you go around being like, Transformers is like the best movies ever made, and like if you don't understand that, you're just like, it's not like you're like a bro about it where you're like,
I'm gonna start being a bro about
action. Like, no, but you understand that they have flaws. You just think you just enjoy them a lot. Yeah. Michael
Bay was a visionary, actually. He's ahead of his time.
Have you seen those video essays?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
Michael Bay, an American auteur.
He's a weirdo, man.
He's so weird.
Whatever. Second part of Christian's question is,
ooh.
Ben, this is your last chance to drop some major film analysis knowledge on Chloe. What's one thing you hope she starts paying attention to in her future movie watching? Just want to say the show's been such a treat. Gonna miss listening to you all. You two are the best. Thanks, Christian.
I don't know. You can pay attention to whatever the fuck you want. Like, the problem with understanding movies is that you pay attention. Like, you start noticing things, and it makes it harder to like accept certain things.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want you to like walk away from this knowing how to analyze movies. Like, and if you want to, you want to. If you don't want to, you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, theme, I guess. I feel like because theme is important in film and like what you learn from it is important. So I guess if you had to take something away from it, like know what the movie's trying to say and be able to like take that and like analyze it, because that's how we grow as people.
That's fair. Usually I just take movies at face value. So
there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's already bad enough that... it's already bad enough I start like noticing editing in movies. This sucks.
I was watching an American Pickle a couple days ago, which is a new movie on HBO. It's quite bad. Well, that's not true. It's with Seth Rogen twice.
Okay.
He's in it twice. And he plays himself, and he also plays his great grandfather, who was preserved in pickle brine in a freak accident, and is like unsealed from the brine like 100 years later, perfectly preserved and like alive. Cause sure. And yeah. And like the first act of that movie, so the first like 30 minutes, is like a pretty fun fish out of water story.
Okay.
And the last third of it, the last act, is like a weirdly emotional exploration of like our heritage and our legacy and our relationship with family and religion.
Interesting.
And the middle of it's a fucking mess that does nothing for the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
So yeah, it's both very good and also extremely bad. But the reason I was bringing it up is because at the end, even the end where I liked it, there were some cuts where I just sat there and I saw the fucking cut and I was like, why? Why are you doing this to me right now?
Always the worst. I hate noticing that now. I'm like, why did I have to take up editing? Now I notice these things. It's terrible. God.
Yep.
Let's see. Kind of going along with the last question from Ignacio Rojas. Sup, Chloe and Ben, how's it going? Has recording a movie podcast affected how you watch movies? Are you more critical, pay more attention to details, digest movies in a way you didn't before? Are you maybe now more open to watch different kinds of movies, or maybe nothing has changed? I don't know. Anyways, hope you have a good day / week / month / year.
We're having a good none of those, but
it's been shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you can answer this initially better than I can, because like I came into this as the person who already analyzes movies.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm definitely more open to watch different kinds of movies now, because it finally gets me to like watch movies, like especially like Moonlight and Blind Spotting have been out on my list for ages now. Finally watched them. Introduced me, even like Mad Max. I had never seen that before, so like finally gives me an excuse. But I don't know. The only way I'm more critical is if I have like Ben's notes from the doc in front of me. It's like, how has this movie personally affected you? I'm like, okay, all right, let me analyze this movie. I'm like, okay, what can I connect to? Otherwise, I'm just sitting there watching. And otherwise, don't have to worry about writing down the whole recaps for the plot. So now I can just sit there and not do anything and watch the movie.
You know what you could do? You could make like a riff tracks kind of thing. I feel like you'd be good at that. Where you just watch the movie and then record audio of you making jokes as you watch the movie, preferably with other people. Not have to be though, I guess. And then you just release the riff tracks and people can sync it up with the movie and they can watch the movie while they listen to you making fun of it.
Dude,
this is what you've trained for, because all you do is like make jokes as you watch.
Exactly. That's perfect. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. I'm moving in with you and I'm going to make this happen.
I'm not going to do it. I need someone to live with.
All right. Let's do it. Fuck it.
This year's chaotic enough. Who gives a shit anymore?
Exactly.
Caution to the wind. I don't know. I feel like I analyze movies the same way because I've structured, like I'm the person deciding how we're analyzing the movies. So I feel like I'm not really analyzing it in any way that I haven't before. I'm definitely analyzing specific movies intently in ways that I might not have analyzed those specific movies. Like I hadn't thought of Inception as intently as I did when we talked about it because just like I didn't have a reason to.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had conversations with movie friends, people in the industry about specific movies and gone as in depth as we did. I think maybe the biggest takeaway I have is from the Black representation in film month we've had, just because that was so much talking to perspectives that are not mine or yours about things that we don't quite understand. So I think that's probably the best like educational takeaway I have from this.
That's true. It was interesting to see other people's perspectives and getting other voices that aren't a white person's on this podcast.
Yeah. So. God, scheduling guests is a fucking hellhole though.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. See, you only have to deal with them on like, not in the sense that like I don't like our guests. I love our guests. They're all amazing. But you only have to like adjust to the dynamic of new guests on the podcast. I have to schedule it and then adjust to the dynamic of the new guests and structure questions for the new guests.
Fun.
It was great. I loved it.
It was great. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this last month.
So here's what I have learned, Chloe.
Okay.
Not from this podcast, from life.
Okay. Life lesson with Ben. It's a new segment.
It's, well, now I feel like the fact that I said life, I need to go broader than I actually was intending to. So first of all of existence is bullshit. We live in an endless void of nothingness, and life is what we make of it. So be nice to people and do whatever the fuck you want. Nothing matters. But aside from that, if you know where you're going to live for a long time, renting is stupid. So here's my plan. With the assistance of my family, because down payments are inherently classist. Okay. With the assistance of my family, put a down payment on a house, buy the house. Yeah. I'm then owning a house. Right. Then we rent out the rooms. So you just move into a nice house that we own in Los Angeles. Okay. I'll pay off my debt to my family too, but you need to do that to buy things, and that's a way that the rich stay rich and poor can't buy anything. Capitalism sucks.
Sure does.
Anyway, What was the next question?
Yeah, where were we? Okay. All right, this comes from Ian Preschel. Preschel. If you two could make your own movie, what type of movie do you think it would be? Like what genre, etc.?
I mean, I've literally written a movie, so I feel like I don't know. I'll answer first because I guess you had this question, so you probably thought of it. But I'll answer first because I've literally planned movies. Yeah, I like magic. I'll lead with that. So like I like fantasy stories, but not like epic fantasy, not like Lord of the Rings kind of stuff. I like more either modern or like period, but like 1920s era period piece magic. I really like the setting of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I just hate the rest of it. Valid. But so it'd probably be magical in some way, either like, oh, people are witches, or like, hey, the Greek gods exist. Some kind of magic, some kind of fantasy there. It would probably have some form of rebellion. I know that a bunch of different story ideas that I'm working on right now feature rebellion, but there's like different types. So one is more of like a personal rebellion and one is like a literal rebellion. So it'd probably feature that. It would probably feature some kind of like attack of masculinity, because fuck masculinity. Yeah. The problem is I can't be specific because technically as a screenwriter, I can't tell people my ideas because they can then steal them. I'm not saying people would steal them, but it is a legitimate like concern with my area of like, if I share my ideas too broadly, that can fuck me over. So I can't be specific. That's fair. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one only because it's not a movie, first of all, and it'll probably never happen. I shall tell you two. Okay. They're adaptations, so it'll probably never happen. I want to adapt the Magic Treehouse books into a series. for kids.
Nice.
But I want it to be like kind of dark, like not like DCEU gritty dark, just like Avatar: The Last Airbender, like a level of maturity to it.
Okay.
And there's this comic book. It's called The Prince and the Dressmaker. And it's really cool. It's about a prince who cross-dresses in like probably the 1800s. I don't fucking know. Mm-hmm. And he finds this dressmaker who makes him dresses to cross-dress with. And they develop this they develop this friendship. And there's like hints of a love there, but maybe not. And like he's supposed to be finding someone to marry. And like it was a whole thing. It's great. I love it. And I really, really, really want to make it into a Broadway musical. I think it would be a really good merging of like old school sensibilities and new school sensibilities. Because in a lot of ways, it feels a lot like classic fairy tale Disney kind of music where it's like, you know, the royalty and like finding the one to marry and all these things. But also it's about gender identity and embracing who you are. And its protagonist isn't the prince, it's the dressmaker. Oh. And it's great. I love it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I dig that. Nice. I was making my own movie. Okay. Shape of Water, but it's sci-fi, alien. Romantic comedy in space, basically. Mass Effect.
Wait, is it actually a romantic comedy though? Because Shape of Water isn't a romantic comedy.
No, I think I had more comedic elements to it. Like if I'd
fuck with that, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My biggest issue with Shape of Water, and it's a really big issue. I have like a fundamental problem with that movie.
Okay.
Is that I don't feel like it gives enough humanity to the fish guy. Like literally, if they just didn't have the scene of him eating the cat, I would have so many less problems with that movie. But
fair.
They made an entire scene that basically said he's an animal. And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah. It's
so I feel like
not a great win for monster fuckers everywhere, but
no. I feel like romantic comedy inherently solves that problem though, because you kind of have to give the alien character humanity because they need to be able to be funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Do exactly that.
I fuck with this. I'd watch that.
Man, I came up with that like 5 minutes ago as you were talking. I'm like, okay, now I want to see it.
Okay, here's a pitch. A horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
But you know Disney Channel original movie Smart House?
Yeah.
It's Smart House, but like a haunted house style horror movie.
Okay.
Instead of being haunted, it's just an AI.
Or that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's Smart House, but so it's like you take the idea of a haunted house, but instead of a ghost, it's an artificial intelligence.
Okay.
It's like Ex Machina meets Smart House meets a haunted house movie. I don't watch haunted. I don't like ghosts. That's my problem. That's why I'm pitching this, because I hate ghosts. I can't watch ghost horror.
Same. Solidarity. Yeah. I just don't like horror in general, though. So,
I've grown to like it. There's certain ones.
Dating Ava, that makes sense.
That's true. Yeah, that's entirely why. I need horror where the protagonist is able to fight back, is what I've learned. So with a ghost, it's just incorporeal. It's physically impossible to do anything.
Can't really, yeah.
But in like Halloween, you can fight back. In Alien, you can fight back. In it's almost a ghost, but it's not. You can fight back.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Can't do ghosts.
I'm just so glad we didn't make it to the horror theme. Before then.
It's fine. It's fine. My choice would have been Jurassic Park.
And my choice was Alien, so.
There you go. Both great horror movies. It worked out.
Exactly. Perfect. Awesome. Gosh. What we got next?
And Prince would have chosen Get Out. You'd have been fine.
Oh, you're right. I would have been totally fine.
Yeah.
That's still on my list of things to watch because I think I can handle that.
It's not very horror.
It's more like thrillery, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's more like thrillery. And if we brought in Ava, which we probably would have because we would need a fourth choice, I'm guessing she would have chosen like maybe Halloween, which isn't like, it's pretty scary, but like it's very human. Or she would have chosen Ready or Not, which again is like much more of a thriller than a horror.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that kind of leads into, we have a couple questions about this and leads into a whole other segment that I have.
Lit.
So, a question from Angel and Anthony. What movies do you guys wish you covered that we didn't get to?
Ooh.
Anthony says he wishes it was Arrival, and I also wish it was Arrival.
Om Shanti Om. I'm so mad that I didn't get to the foreign film month.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Om Shanti Om so fucking badly.
That's fair. We also have a question about that. Was big excited for Om Shanti Om episode. What about y'all? Yeah, I'm kind of sorry we didn't get to that.
Was it from Khaled?
I'm going to assume because it sounds exactly like a Khaled-ass sentence.
Yeah.
No.
I also don't know how many people knew that I wanted to do Om Shanti Om. So he's the only person I can think of who both knew that and knows what Om Shanti Om is.
That's fair. Unless also, big excited
podcast,
is a. Oh, that's true.
That is a him word. I don't know. Point is, yeah. I'm sad. I'm sad we didn't do Om Shanti Om. That's like the one movie I really, really, really wanted to introduce. Okay. Can I explain the plot of Om Shanti Om to you? Like, I know I'm technically spoiling it for you, but I feel like you won't watch it.
It's fine. I've seen like GIF sets on Tumblr, but
okay. So
I probably won't.
If anyone's listening to this and they want to watch Om Shanti Om and they don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead like 2 minutes. I'll probably be done talking by then. If not, I'm sorry. So, Om Shanti Om. First of all, the name is a fucking pun.
Okay.
Because it's about 3 characters. A guy named Om, a woman named Shanti.
Okay.
And another guy named Om.
Fucking love it.
But Om Shanti Om is also a prayer.
Interesting.
So Om Shanti Om is about this guy Om, who is like, basically he's an extra in movies in Bollywood, but he really wants to be like a big star. And he's in love with one of the biggest actresses in Bollywood. Her name is Shanti.
Okay.
And he's never met her, but like he's just like in love with her from a distance.
Yeah.
And this is the 1970s. And he eventually he ends up meeting her, and he's like, they become friends, and he tries to woo her, and he kind of does an okay job, but her heart belongs to another.
Oh.
You see, she's secretly married to this big time Bollywood producer.
Oh, shit.
But a moment arises about halfway through the movie. And like Om has grown his like connection to Shanti, and they're very close with each other. And he's on this film set that's like kind of abandoned at the time. And he sees Shanti meeting with her husband. And Shanti is pregnant. And she's like, we need to tell the world we're married. And the producer's like, I can't. I need to marry this daughter of a rich guy because I need her money to fund our production company. And Shanti's like, we're going to have a baby, dude. Like, we need to be honest about this. And he's like, okay. So Om's on this film set. Shanti meets with her husband, and her husband is like, look, we have this beautiful film set, and we're going to use it as the site of our wedding. And we'll get married, and there'll be this thing over here, and there'll be this thing over here. And Shanti's like, oh my God, that's beautiful. And then he's like, you fucking idiot. And then he sets the place on fire and locks her in.
What?
This is an hour and a half into the 3-hour-long movie.
Holy shit.
So Om is there, and the producer guy drives off, and Om rushes over, and he breaks down the window, and he opens the door into the thing, and he runs in looking for Shanti, and he sees her, and she's like hiding in a corner, and he runs over to get her, and he gets close, and the fire explodes.
What?
And he gets blown out of the building. He tumbles over a hill onto the ground, falls on a road, and this other producer, who I forget his full name, but his last name is Kapoor, who's been established in this as like this big time producer, is driving his pregnant wife along the road, stops and sees this guy, grabs Om, puts him in the car, takes him to the hospital. His wife gives birth as Om dies. We're halfway through the movie.
What the fuck?
We skip to 30 years later.
Well, okay.
Kapoor son has been born. He named him after the man who died the same day. This is the new Om. But he doesn't just have Om's name. He is the reincarnation of the original Om. He looks like him, but he has no memory of any of that. So he is now a big time Bollywood actor, like the original Om dreamed of being, because he's the son of the biggest producer in Bollywood. He's famous. He doesn't give a shit. He acts nothing like our Om. But he starts to have like these horror movie-esque flashbacks when he sees locations that he used that from the original time, from like his original life.
Right.
And he also like meets his old mom and best friend who recognize him because they're like, you look just like Om. And the mom is like, that's my son. And his best friend is like, you're being crazy. So the next hour and a half is the reincarnation of Om remembering his life and setting out for a revenge mission against the man who murdered Shanti.
Holy shit, that is not what I thought the movie was about at all.
Incredible.
Oh my god. All right, maybe I'll go fuck around and watch it now.
It's incredible.
Yeah? Holy, oh my god. Was not expecting
the
any
problem
of
is
that.
The problem is when I explain it to people, it's such a spoiler to say, so the main character dies halfway through. Yeah. But also, I feel like you can't properly explain how wild it is. Also, there's an 8-minute long musical sequence.
Okay.
About 2 hours into the movie. Om, the new Om Kapoor, the famous one who doesn't really give a shit about anything, has just won an award. And it's his birthday. And he's having his birthday party. And this is before he's had any flashbacks of like who he is. So he's like fully the playboy douchebag Om.
Okay.
And his dad is like, happy birthday, son. We've thrown you this giant party. Here's all these people to celebrate with you. It becomes an 8-minute long musical dance number.
Hell yeah.
The song is called Om Shanti Om.
Hell yeah.
And he dances with all of these celebrities who are... So the main actor in Om Shanti Om is Shah Rukh Khan, SRK. And he is one of the biggest, if not the biggest actors in Bollywood. And according to my Bollywood teacher in film school, he is also probably one of the biggest celebrities on the planet. He dwarfs anyone America has, according to her. There's a wax mannequin of him in London.
Shout out.
So, yeah. So he does this 8-minute long dance number. And the thing is, all the people he dances with in this number are his former co-stars. It's all meta. It's just Shah Rukh Khan mimicking the dances from his old movies for Bollywood, who understands what's happening, with all of his old co-stars, including, and she's not the biggest star in India, but for us as Americans, you'll recognize her, including Priyanka Chopra.
Okay. Wild.
And it has nothing to do with the plot. It's 8 minutes long and progresses nothing. That's
fine. Good. Every movie actually needs an 8-minute long dance number.
And then at the end of it, he sees the producer who killed Shanti, and that's the beginning of his flashbacks.
Ooh. Holy shit. Oh my God.
It's incredible. I love it so much.
Jesus Christ. Wow. I'm really sad we didn't get to that now. God damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bollywood is incredible. Reincarnation is literally a genre in Bollywood.
Fuck yeah. Let's go. My goodness. That okay.
The entire movie's batshit.
Yeah. That totally fucking threw me. Oh wow, I was not expecting any of that. Damn, now I really
wish. This is the highest grossing film in India.
Fair. I'll say it deserves it, as seeing as I've never seen it. But yeah. Go off, Kings.
Also,
oh my
it's
God.
directed by a woman.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. My goodness. Yeah, no, wish we covered that. I think we covered most of my other favorite movies, but like.
Yeah. I wish we talked about Power Rangers 2017.
That would have been fun. Parasite?
Yeah. Parasite. What
fun.
Else is there? Movies. What movies exist? Last Black Man in San Francisco. I wish we talked about that one. Chloe? Chloe's
Sorry.
gone. I can't hear her. Oh, there you are.
I was muting it because the garage was opening. It's really loud.
I like how you're doing that on our last ever episode. Like I haven't cut out the garage sounds for fucking 9 months.
It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. Did we talk about
Birds of
Gone
Prey?
Girl? We didn't talk about Gone Girl, did we?
No.
Okay.
I would love to have talked about Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey.
Because that slaps.
Yeah.
What are my favorite movies that we haven't talked about? Oh, fucking duh. One of my favorite movies of all time, The Princess Bride.
What's the truth? That we didn't get to cover that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were going to do favorite movie month, and then the world kind of turned to more shit.
We did do favorite movie month.
We did, didn't we? Something.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just didn't have time for all of our favorite movies.
That's true.
Two of us, and a month is 4 weeks.
Fair. What am I thinking? I was thinking of something else. I don't know.
I would have loved to have done Casablanca because I think it's incredible.
Adaptations is what I was thinking. Because that was when I was going to pitch Arrival and Gone Girl.
That's fair. I see that.
Yeah.
Attack the Block is great.
Ooh,
Could have talked about that.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's tons. Movies are wild.
That's true.
I wish we had time to talk about Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Mamma Mia 1.
Oh, you're right. That was the first episode.
That was the first episode.
Totally forgot about that.
You're so young and naive.
I know. Oh my God. Wild.
Do you want my big confession about Mamma Mia 1?
Oh no.
I didn't rewatch the whole movie when we recorded that podcast.
What? Oh no. That was so long ago, but I want to say I probably didn't either.
Yeah. It was a pilot. We weren't intending to release it. Like, I just didn't do it.
It's fine. It's whatever. You got the basics, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Have you seen the recreations of Sophie's beach scene on TikTok?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would have loved to do that too. If only I could go to the beach.
Yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, we can go to the beach, but it's like...
You have to drive all the way to Chicago.
Yeah. No, we don't usually go. We usually go in Indiana. It's like an hour and a half drive. It's not that bad.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. But it's just, yeah. I don't know how crowded it's going to be. And you got to coordinate with the whole family. It's
that's fair.
No beach this year. It's upsetting. Anyways, other things that people wish that we covered include National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. I do wish we covered that.
Yeah.
That was always my favorite National Treasure. Up until I had to rewatch the first one, but
I have very few memories of the second one. I definitely did not watch it anywhere near as much as I watched the first.
I feel like I watched that one a whole lot. I don't know why, but it's good.
I just remember they go to Mount Rushmore and they steal the president.
Mm-hmm. He kidnaps the president. Yeah.
I wish he did that now.
If only. Let's see. Angel says we hoping to see Coco. That would have been fun.
Coco's fucking great.
It is really good.
I read the script for Coco in the past year and it made me cry. And the fact that like the script made me cry is wild. Also, I think the script might be better than the movie.
Okay.
Like the movie definitely has like things the script doesn't have. Like visually, it's stunning and like a lot of great things went into it. But I don't know. For some reason, there were just I don't know. The script really worked for me. I feel like the movie, for whatever reason, kind of lost a couple things the script had.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of similar, but Book of Life. I really love that movie.
Ooh.
That would have been good. That would have been fun to do.
A good time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Levster says rom-com Boys and Girls from 2000 because Freddie Prinze Jr. is in it.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know.
We just do Mass Effect 3. It's in that too.
That's
the
awesome.
Scooby-Doo movies.
Ah, you're right.
Yeah.
Man, I would have been
what an iconic cast.
Oh, honestly, dude, fucking slaps. So good. What else we got? Logan says, I feel it's a tragedy no James Bond movie was covered because I think Jaws, the character from some of the films, is someone Chloe really could have loved. I
can see that.
know anything.
I have a love-hate relationship with the James Bond movies where, like, I don't know. I don't think of them ever individually. I always think of them kind of just like collectively as like the James Bond movies.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there's definitely ones I think
I've
are
ever
better.
actually seen one.
Here's the thing with James Bond.
Yeah.
They're all sexist. Sometimes they kind of acknowledge that.
Okay.
While still being that. So like Skyfall is one of the better ones. And I only say that because like it is one of the most modern. So it is one of the most like capable of being progressive. But for all of its talk about James Bond being like a relic of the old world, it also features a lot of James Bond just getting with girls and then killing them. Not purposefully, but like they kind of just exist to get with him and then they get killed.
Okay. I know one of them, like the girl like drowns in like an elevator or something. He can't get her out. It's like, I've seen bits and pieces of different movies.
Is that Daniel Craig?
I think so.
That's Casino Royale. That's actually one of the better ones in terms of like representation of women, just because she's a very, very fleshed out character. Like,
oh, sick.
She is one of the most, I would say, like that movie's entire plot hinges around her and her actions.
Interesting.
Because the movie's about him kind of falling in love with her and then her fucking him over and then them reconciling. So like, you might like Casino Royale. Skyfall doesn't have that. Skyfall just is like, hey, women are here, I guess.
Women.
Skyfall is very good.
Exist.
Okay, actually, I'm going to rephrase this. Skyfall isn't like women are here. Okay. Because Skyfall turns a historically white male character into a black woman. Actually, no, she might have been a woman to begin with. But definitely, it turns a historically white woman character who is like just a secretary into like a black woman who almost gets James Bond killed by shooting him because she's capable of that. So that's cool. And also it features the leader of MI6 very prominently, who at the time is Dame Judi Dench. She also dies and it becomes a white man in charge of MI6. However, like Judi Dench's character is kind of like the entire focal point of the entire movie. So like, it's not like she's an insignificant character. But then the Bond girls are still very like, hey, we're here, dead.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's a mixed bag.
Interesting. Yeah, one day I'll watch one of them. Something.
I
don't know.
I think the Daniel Craig James Bonds have done a thing where they've been like, hey, James Bond is inherently sexist. And we need to acknowledge that by calling him on it.
Okay.
And that kind of works, but he's still your protagonist. And the movies aren't about him being sexist. So it's not like you can't have a character who's sexist as a protagonist in a movie. The problem is just James Bond isn't about that. So as much as you can talk about it, he's still a super cool spy. And that's still going to be the plot of the movie. It's not about your main character like reckoning with being a dickwad. And the problem is I feel like people have had this perspective that the original author of James Bond sucked. He was a shitty person. Arthur Conan Doyle. He can fuck off.
Absolutely.
And he was deeply sexist. And people have this idea that like, okay, well, Arthur Conan Doyle wrote James Bond this way, so he should be this way. The problem is Arthur Conan Doyle wrote James Bond that way to be suave. And I feel like what we could be doing with the movies, instead of taking the qualities that make James Bond, take the idea of who James Bond is and then filter that through the modern lens. So instead of it being like, hey, he's sexist and we should call him on that, make it, hey, he's meant to be suave and cool. And in the modern lens, a suave, cool spy is progressive and respectful of women and not a shithead. So just do that. Tell Arthur Conan Doyle to fuck off. He doesn't matter. Wait, is Arthur Conan Doyle the writer of
Sherlock?
Sherlock? Fuck.
Yeah.
Who wrote James Bond? I don't know.
I don't know. You said that, and I was like, I don't know enough about James Bond to dispute that, so I'm gonna go along with it.
I've been drinking. I don't know. The author of James Bond has a name. Ian Fleming.
Ian wrote this? Wow, what the fuck, dude? That's terrible. Wow.
No, it's Ian Fleming, right? I'm right.
No clue.
I'm right. I'm correct. Okay, it's Ian Fleming.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a white English dude who wrote a significant
They're all the
character.
Same.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so whatever. Who fucking cares?
Sherlock is an asshole. James Bond is an asshole. I've met a James Bond.
Tomato. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Timothy Dalton. Love him. He was very confused by meeting me.
Okay, why was he confused?
I don't know. Like, I was working on a film set on my school's my LMU has like film studios kind of things. So a lot of film sets aren't on campus, but on campus there's a couple spaces where you can like construct a film set. So I was working on one of those. And a friend came in and he knew I loved Hot Fuzz and Timothy Dalton's in Hot Fuzz. And he came in and he was like, hey, there was this event happening in the school's movie theater. And they're all like hanging out in the lobby now. And I think that's Timothy Dalton. Ben, you love Hot Fuzz. Is that Timothy Dalton? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. So I went out to check and I came back and I was like, that is Timothy Dalton. And they're like, you have to go meet him. And I was like, do I? And they're like, yes. So I just walked in and I walked up to him like, hello, sir. I love your work in Chuck and Hot Fuzz. And he was like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. And he's like, you go to school here? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, cool. And I'm like, yep. And then I left. I was very uncomfortable.
Solid.
Yep.
Okay. As celebrity interactions go, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. What that sort of reminded me of is that we almost went to Lucasfilm when last time we were hanging out. And now I got really upset again.
Well, that's what it reminded me of is how many celebrities I've been around from being at LMU, but I've not spoken to, and they terrify me.
Brag about it.
No. Like, just they're there, and I'm like, I'm afraid. Ewan McGregor, I've been close to him.
Bro.
I know.
Shout out.
Patrick Stewart.
He would have died.
Close.
Nice.
Helen Mirren. Close.
Very nice.
Guillermo del Toro. Close.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All
They're
right.
all
all right.
terrifying.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I met Jake Gyllenhaal, and that was terrifying.
You did meet Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, see, here's the thing,
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I have not spoken to that many of them. I've been around them, but like Timothy Dalton's one of the very few that I've actually like conversed with. Timothy Dalton, Ewan McGregor, because I asked Ewan McGregor a singular question, and that might be it, unless I'm forgetting someone, which is possible. Oh, and Zachary Levi. It's all Chuck. It all comes back to Chuck.
Oh, I see. You're right. Interesting.
Oh, and Joss Whedon. Which?
And
Stan Lee.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, rolling back because I brought up Lucasfilm, but this is our last question for this topic is, Ben, how did you let the podcast end without forcing Chloe to watch The Last Jedi and talk about it for 2 hours?
So, you're right. That is a failure on my part. Part of it is out of kindness, because I know she doesn't like it. And I don't want to force her to watch something she doesn't like. You're welcome. Have you watched it more than once?
I've seen it at least twice.
Okay. Because if you only watch it once, I would legitimately want you to watch it again just to like see if your opinion changed of it. If you watch it twice, I feel like you probably have somewhat of a solid opinion of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like. I'm happy to argue about The Last Jedi, but I have no desire to like force you into an argument about it or force you to talk about something you don't care about.
Yeah, I never, that's the one thing I don't bring up on this podcast is because I hate talking about Star Wars with other Star Wars fans. Like, it's just the fucking worst.
I mean, like, Star Wars is weird because I feel like what we all want out of Star Wars is so inherently different from each other. Because I view Star Wars as a very spiritual series, and that's what I get from The Last Jedi. So it very much makes me happy. Okay. I feel like other people view it as a very like action-y series, and they're like, we want the action. And have you seen that fan-made video of like remaking the Obi-Wan v Vader scene from A New Hope?
Yes.
I hate that. I hate that video. But I feel like there are Star Wars
more
fans.
Like action and all that. Okay.
It's not that it has more action. Like, I'm fine with action-heavy Star Wars scenes.
Yeah.
It's that it ignores the point of that scene to begin with for the sake of spectacle. Okay. And I understand that there are Star Wars fans who like that. I don't think that's what Star Wars is. And I don't feel like I have any inherent right to say that my perspective of what Star Wars is correct any more than anyone else does. And like, yeah, I think George Lucas did make Star Wars based heavily off of mythologies and worlds that are very like spiritually focused. So I think that at Star Wars core, that is what George Lucas intended, whether he realized it or not, because he based it off of a lot of samurai movies, and samurai movies are very spiritually focused. But George Lucas also doesn't own Star Wars, both literally because Disney bought it, but also just like because once you release it to the public, it's whatever they perceive it as. So I think The Last Jedi deserves respect, and I will argue for that till the end of my days. However, I don't think that people have to like The Last Jedi. And there are things that people dislike that I will never understand. I don't understand not liking old Luke. Old Luke is the first time I've ever liked Luke Skywalker in my fucking life. Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy is Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy is a snivelly bitch. And like, I appreciate him in retrospect, but the idea that old Luke ruined Luke, old Luke is the best fucking version of Luke. Are you kidding me? But there are other things where like, sure, like people don't like it, and you don't have, and like, there are problems with that movie. Like, the Canto Bight storyline is not well executed. I like what it's going for. And there's arguments that I will tell you you're wrong about. Like, I'm not you specifically, but like, there are people who are like, oh, the Finn and Rose storyline doesn't matter to the plot. And I'm like, first of all, are you stupid? Because literally, if the Finn and Rose storyline doesn't happen, the third act doesn't exist. People think that because they failed, it doesn't matter. But if they didn't fail, the First Order wouldn't know that they were escaping in escape pods and wouldn't have followed them to Crate. And the third act wouldn't happen. Like, what?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
I know. My point is there are like specific things in that movie where I will argue that like that is a stupid argument. However, people are allowed to dislike the movie. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't agree with them, and I'll argue that I don't agree with them, but like, they're allowed to. I'm not going to force you to watch it again because you don't like, yeah, if we had a Star Wars month, I'd be like, yeah, I want to talk about The Last Jedi because I love The Last Jedi, but I'm not going to be like, hey, it's favorite movies month, or hey, it's like sci-fi month, let's make you watch a movie you don't like.
Yeah, it's just that would have been a 4-hour long podcast of us arguing about Star Wars, and I don't think that would be very fun. Yeah. Listen, if anything, The Rise of Skywalker maybe respect it a little bit more because I really didn't like that movie.
There you fucking go. So, that movie's trash, dude.
It's really not great.
Trash. It's so
It makes
bad.
Nobody happy. I don't understand.
That thing with The Last Jedi too is like The Last Jedi has flaws that I don't think are its flaws. They're the Force Awakens flaws. And I don't hold it against The Last Jedi. And The Last Jedi does things that I care about so much and enjoy so much that I overlook those flaws. However, those flaws exist. And if you want to prescribe those flaws to The Last Jedi and care about them, like, that's fair. I don't think it's inherently the movie's flaws. I think it's inherently The Force Awakens flaws. But The Last Jedi still has to suffer under the connection to that and having to build off of that. Like, The Last Jedi has too many plot lines because The Force Awakens gave us Finn and Poe and Rey, and it split them essentially all up. Like, yes, The Last Jedi chose to split Finn and Rey, or Finn and Poe, but I feel like that was kind of necessary for like the story they were trying to tell. But splitting Rey off from everybody was inherently going to be a problem.
Right. This is a very disjointed trilogy. It really should have been just one director. It should have just been J.J. Abrams all the way through, or just Rian Johnson. I don't know. Okay.
Because here's my thing. I mean, like, the original trilogy wasn't one director all the way through. But also, like, George Lucas was still in control of all of it. He just only directed the first movie. So you can still argue, well, there was a producer who was controlling everything the way that, like, Kevin Feige controlled everything, and Kathleen Kennedy let Rian Johnson do whatever he wanted. But still, technically, the original trilogy also had the same issue of, like, there was not one director, there was not one writer. However, I don't know. I think a baton pass of directors could work. I have two problems with it. One is that J.J. Abrams is the wrong person to open with, because J.J. Abrams asks a lot of questions without thinking about the answers inherently. That's just what he does in everything he's ever made. He likes his mystery box, and he never has an answer for his mystery box. So he's a bad person to open a franchise with without having the answers established.
Okay.
He's also a bad person to close a franchise with, because he's never closed anything he's done except the TV series Felicity. And you know how Felicity ends?
How does Felicity end?
Very similarly to Rise of Skywalker.
Ah, of course.
Like, literally, I've never watched it, but there's a video essay by Patrick H. Willems where he watched all of Felicity and used that to predict what J.J. Abrams would do with Rise of Skywalker. And he was right.
Ooh, not great.
No. So I don't know. I don't think that the idea of handing it from one director to the next is inherently wrong. I don't know if it could work, because I can't think of an example of an actual trilogy doing that. But I respect the risk of it. And I think it potentially could. I just think J.J. Abrams was a shit choice. If we had a world where we had Brad Bird doing the original movie like they wanted him to. So Force Awakens is Brad Bird. Rise of Skywalker is Rian Johnson. And the third movie is not J.J. Abrams, but also isn't Colin Trevorrow. I think that could have worked. They just needed good directors.
I would kill to live in that timeline where Brad Bird made a Star Wars movie. Are you kidding me?
Like, okay, if you take three directors who I feel like have similar, not ideologies, but similar styles. Like, you can't baton pass from Rian Johnson to Taika Waititi. But if you baton pass from, like, Brad Bird to Rian Johnson, who I feel like are similar enough that they could work within that same framework. Work. And then baton pass from Rian Johnson to, I really have no idea who I'd baton pass to from there. But just a third director with, like, the right idea. Yeah. I think that could work. I also think they should have chosen a third director based off of the story of the second and director. Like, let directors come pitch you after the second movie and see what idea you like, and then choose that one.
Yeah.
But I think the problem with the baton pass
was that of just, it could work. It could have worked in theory if J.J. Abrams wasn't trying to undo everything Last Jedi did.
It's just, you can't do a baton pass where the first baton and the second baton, that's not the right way to phrase it. You can't do a baton pass where the first person and the last person are the same person, because they're just going to not respect the second person.
Right.
Which I get. Like,
that's like,
if I established characters and a universe, and then someone else took control of it, and then it was handed back to me, I would have issues not doing what I wanted to do with it.
I was like, what the fuck did you do? Now I gotta go fix this shit. Yeah. So now it's all a fucking mess. I'm like,
And I like how Rian Johnson responded to the things J.J. Abrams set up, because J.J. Abrams didn't know what the fuck he was asking. But I get why J.J. Abrams came in and was like, you made her parents nobody? I don't know how I feel about that. Even though her parents being nobody was great, and like inherently is an ideology that the Jedi don't belong, that the Force doesn't belong to anyone, and that the Jedi is not inheritance, and anyone can be a Jedi. And how the fuck do you not think that's a good idea? Okay.
I had come to terms with that. It was fine. I was like, okay, actually, you know what? That was a good choice. No, let's make her a Palpatine.
It was a good choice.
Oh, no! What the fuck?
Her being the child of anybody would not have made sense.
No.
I hate it. Also, I know, like, okay, Ava, who's been on this podcast, you should check out the episode she was on. But she doesn't entirely like Ava. Okay, actually, Ava has two things. She doesn't super like the Force connection thing between Kylo and Rey, especially with how little time we actually get with it. I don't agree with her. I think it works fine. I like it a lot. But structurally, from the perspective of Rian Johnson, in the original Star Wars trilogy, Darth Vader had to be Luke's dad. He had to be. This isn't like a choice. Literally, the way those movies were structured, if Darth Vader was not Luke Skywalker's father, you would have been going in to the third movie and Luke would have met Darth Vader once.
Yeah.
There would have been no fucking connection. There'd have been nothing there. He had to be family. And this trilogy kind of does that too, where like, yes, Rey faces Kylo in the first movie at the end. But if you spent like J.J. Abrams put Rey with Luke, and if you don't time jump, which would have been kind of lame to do, then Rey and Kylo Ren wouldn't have really interacted until at least the end of the movie. And like, what ideological like setup can you build there when your main character and your main antagonist don't interact with each other that much, except for the end of each movie until the third movie? Like, it just, they had to have that Force connection. It made it more interesting. Ava also thinks that that Last Jedi would have worked better as a limited series, like a season of television. And I see that argument.
Okay. Honestly, you can make an argument for any movie being a TV show and be like, you know what? Yes.
That's fair. I don't know. I feel like there's certain TV shows that don't work that well. Like,
that's true, but just like in theory.
I feel like I'm trying to think of a good example of a movie where I feel like it really would not work as a TV show. Like specifically for that movie's plot. I don't think that. Damn, maybe every movie would work as a TV show.
Crazy.
Shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have other questions.
Anyways. Yes. I keep thinking about how Brad Bird almost directed a Star Wars movie, and now I'm sad about that again, but I'm going to use that to transition into our next segment, favorite movies / favorite episodes from everybody. First one is somebody saying, The Incredibles episode is so much fun to listen to, but which one was the most fun to record?
Ooh, I don't know, man.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Incredibles one because I'm sure I had fun going off, but like something like Transformers: Dark of the Moon was probably somewhere I talk about one of my favorite movies. I just go balls to the wall, Chloe. You know, those are fun.
I know I recorded the Incredibles episode in this room that I'm currently in.
Okay,
which is surprising because I usually don't record in this room because I wasn't at my dad's house consistently until 2 months ago. But I don't know. I liked the Sing Street episode because it's my favorite movie. I liked Paddington 2 because it's also one of my favorite movies. I liked Incredibles because it was fucking stupid. Not the movie. The movie's great, but like we were fucking stupid.
We were fucking stupid. Yes. If I get to talk about one of my favorite movies, I'm gonna go fucking stupid about it.
Yeah.
I'm almost tempted to go back and listen to that because I don't remember a single thing about it.
Because I listened through the episodes, I remember some things because I'm editing them. I definitely don't remember anything we talk about when after we record. I could not tell you. I can tell you how I feel about it. I can tell you I've come out of episodes being like, that was a great episode, but I can't tell you what we talked about. once I edit, I kind of can, but also it's been a while. So
yeah, like pulling up these questions, I was literally going through my like docs and I was trying to find I found the Incredibles guide. I'm like, okay, what did we talk about?
yeah. I know Paddington was definitely my favorite for a long time. Because I liked it better than I think any of our 2000s. Maybe National Treasure was a good one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I would go back and listen to them, but I really hate the sound of my own voice. So like I've become
so numb to the sound of mine.
Yeah, you edit it.
It does not faze me.
As soon as I record something, I like never go back to it. Even if I like go back to look at the comments on something, I have to pause it. I'm like, I can't look at her. I don't know her. As soon as past Chloe's in the past, I don't know her anymore. If you've known me in the past, no, you didn't. I am a different person now. Even from like 5 minutes ago.
I do hate most incarnations of Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just now. Yeah.
Remember when we met? Don't like that, Ben.
No. I think that Chloe was fine. That was before I totally like knew you guys and like really opened up. So that was still kind of like quiet Chloe.
Yeah. You just kind of like appeared. Like legitimately, I was sitting in whatever panels PSX had. I think it was about Last of Us. I don't fucking know. Last of Us. It
was a Last of Us like Uncharted one, Naughty Dog.
Yeah. And I was with Trevor Starkey. Shout out to our That Nerdy Site, one of the creators of That Nerdy Site / first guest of That Nerdy Site / I don't know what the fuck else title he wants. We were with him and other people, Jordantown, and I knew everyone I was with, and I was like, yes, my friends. And then suddenly there was a girl talking to us from behind us, and I was very confused.
That girl?
Was you.
Who knows? It was me. I was trying to think of a joke, and I completely forgot any other woman. I couldn't name a woman.
I mean, the joke you could have, and frankly should have made sort of been topical, is, and that girl was me. Much like Kamala Harris said frequently during her campaign run, because she's the vice presidential candidate with Joe Biden now. Politics.
Yay. Politics. It's great. Oh, God.
I know a lot of people don't like that she's the vice presidential candidate. And like, she's not my choice by any means, but she doesn't make it worse for me. It's like, it's the quality I expected. Joe Biden is still Joe Biden. Kamala Harris is still Kamala Harris. Like, it is still a mediocre ticket that I will choose over an abysmal ticket.
Yeah, still gonna vote blue. So. Yep. Well, let's see.
America.
I could have said America. Could have said It's Me. Or I could have said Rachel McAdam in About Time, which Jack David said is one of his favorite moments when we both fell in love with her because he did the same thing when he watched it.
Did you see my tweet about Rachel McAdams?
When did you tweet it?
You were internet. Like, yeah, it might have been when you were on internet blackout.
Then
a couple days ago,
see it.
I tweeted what is frankly my best tweet and is not getting the recognition it deserves. But basically, it says that people call Kevin Feige a visionary, and that's stupid, because if he was really a visionary, Kevin Feige would have rebranded the MCU as the RMCU, the Rachel McAdams Cinematic Universe, the second she was cast in Doctor Strange.
Fair. You know, honestly, she should have been the lead in that movie anyways. Who cares
about
Benedict Cumberbatch? What the fuck are you talking about?
Why is he, like, attractive in that movie?
I'm
not saying he's, like, super attractive. Just, like, I was watching it and I was like...
No, but it's one of his more attractive roles. Like, you compare it to, like, Sherlock. And,
he appears like a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Strange.
Whack. It is
if any Benedict Cumberbatch fans or family or friends or just Benedict Cumberbatch are listening to this, I don't fucking know. I don't know his life. I'm not hating on you because apparently you are capable of being quite good looking. So just make that choice.
Just do what you did in that movie all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You're good.
Yeah.
Gosh. It's not that hard. White men, come on. The bar's on the floor. Just make it.
The bar is really on the floor. We can do whatever the fuck we want. That's a problem.
I trip over it constantly. Please. I'm begging you to raise it a little bit. God damn. Anyways. We kind of covered this, but what have you learned the most from this show?
I hate Chloe.
I hate Ben.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what we learned, people. Hatred.
Dude, I don't know. Podcasts take a lot of work.
Yeah.
Movies.
I've learned how to budget my time in which I watch a movie all the way up until like 2 minutes before we record. And then the movie's fresh in my mind.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a move. Dude, I used to watch it on the train ride home and then everything happened and now...
existence stopped.
Then existence stopped and I have been living the same exact day for like 4 months straight now.
Oh man,
I'm kind of losing my mind.
That's not true.
Exactly. I'm a repeat of a day, but it's like not as fun or exciting.
I'll tell you what I've learned. I'm gonna get political again.
Oh boy.
I've learned that getting guests on your podcast who are not straight white men is not that hard. You can pretty easily do it. And if you aren't doing it, then you aren't trying. And that's your fault. There's no excuse.
You're right.
Yeah.
Given the current situation, it is easier than ever, people.
Yeah.
Everybody's working from home. You just call them in. Crazy.
Like, yeah, putting guests on your podcast all the time can be kind of frustrating and like mess with the dynamic of your podcast. And I understand that because like we have a dynamic and like it definitely messed with that to have guests on consistently for a month straight. Just because like we're used to each other. But the world requires sacrifices and progress requires sacrifices. But also, just when you do have guests, don't make them white men. Especially don't make them straight white men, but probably don't make the white men to begin with.
Anyways.
Also, I'm going to say something else.
Yeah.
Also, diversity is more than your racial, ethnic, gender, sexuality background. So if you are seeking out white men for your podcast and you are also a white man, at least have like a justifiable reason. And there are justifiable reasons because like sometimes you and all of your co-hosts have the same perspective on something. So find someone with a different perspective on it. And again, that's not that hard. Finding guests is quite easy. And having diverse perspectives, like I'm a straight white man. I also grew up in a religion that is based in Hinduism. My perspective on spirituality is very different. So if I'm talking about Star Wars, my perspective on Star Wars is going to be very different, I think, than a lot of other white men. And possibly just a lot of other people. And I don't mean that like balances out the fact that I am like born into the privilege of whiteness and maleness and all that stuff. But like that is still a version of diversity. And if you are looking for guests, find perspectives that are not your own and people who have different ideas than your own and allow those ideas to foster. Unless those ideas are bigoted, in which case fuck those people and kill them. Exactly.
Anyways, no, everyone has to stick to the status quo.
Honestly, that's what they do.
Right. Moving on from that.
Did you go through my Twitter while we were talking to like my Kevin Feige, Rachel McAdams tweet?
I absolutely did. Responded to it too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
It's a good tweet, Ben. There you go.
It's so nice to be acknowledged.
Crazy. Huh.
Yeah, I am only semi-used to that as again, white man on the internet.
Imagine being a female. Whoa. Imagine being somebody that's not white. Whoa. Oh my God. Fucking forget about it.
I don't have to.
Yeah. I don't have to. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do you want to move past trauma now?
We'll move on. Next question comes from Anthony. So asks, favorite movie you watched because of this podcast you hadn't seen prior, and least favorite movie you'd watched because of the podcast.
Ooh. What movies have we watched because of this podcast?
I know. I'm like,
I feel like my favorite is probably Prisoners.
Hell yeah.
It's very good. I actually, okay. Technically, I watched Arrival because we were talking about Prisoners and Denis Villeneuve. So
okay,
if that counts, it's Arrival. But if we're talking movies specifically that I watched for this podcast
that we discussed on the podcast,
the movie of the week, yeah, then it's probably Prisoners.
Yes, that makes me so happy.
I don't know.
I'm going through
Moonlight. I've seen Sorry to Bother You. I've seen Fruitvale. Yeah, me too. I've seen Blind Spotting. I hadn't seen The Last Airbender. Well, The Last Airbender was the worst. The Last Airbender was the worst.
That was like great, but I had seen it already, so.
Ooh, I also saw Point Break. For this podcast. Is it Point Break or is it? Prisoners?
See, I saw. See, Blind Spotting. I hadn't seen. I really like that.
That's a great movie. I think my least favorite is definitely The Last Airbender.
Okay.
My most favorite. You know what? My most favorite is gonna have to be. Yeah. It's Point Break. My most favorite's Point Break. Sorry, Prisoners. You're great too. But I really enjoyed Point Break. It was weird. I like weird shit.
Fair.
It was like a ballet, but an action movie. I fucked with that. It was
so wild, but you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah. Like, Prisoners definitely has the better plot. But
yeah,
I don't love dark things. So
that's fair. It's a very dark movie
Break.
Compared to like Point Break, which is total opposite, totally.
It's an action ballet. That's so stupid. I fuck with it.
Gay undertones? Fuck yeah, let's go. I don't know. My least favorite is probably something like fucking 12 Angry Men.
How dare you?
I'm
not surprised, but how dare you?
I stand by my answer.
Okay. I mean, it's one of the best movies ever made, but sure.
Bunch of white men in a room. You've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times.
Have you seen it once?
12 Angry Men?
Yeah.
Watched it once. It was
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times implies that when you're criticizing it, you've seen it already. In which case, this viewing doesn't.
No, a group of white men in a room. It's all the same. I could watch a podcast with 12 white men on it. It's the same exact movie. You know? That's
untrue, as the 12 Angry Men is discussing justice and
That's
racism.
True. Unless I pull up the true crime podcast with 12 white men discussing.
Yeah, but 12 white men on a podcast aren't going to talk about racism in any way that's effective.
That's very true. It's not going to happen. Anyways, out of the bunch, I feel like that's my least favorite.
Okay, no, it's fair. Like,
yeah.
It's
just yeah.
If you hadn't seen Last Airbender already, would it be the one you chose?
Probably.
Yeah, that's fair.
God, that movie's dog shit.
We're inherently skewed by the fact that most of the movies we chose are movies that one of us likes, and there are a lot of movies we've already seen. So like this especially with the worst question, like it's the worst of movies that we mostly chose as ones we like, except for Last Airbender, which we chose for the sake of talking about the TV show. So
true, very true. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick, and then we'll continue this.
Sure, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll be back.
Hello, podcast people. While Chloe's away, I'm gonna say words to you. This podcast is sponsored by MeUndies. MeUndies brings you underwear that is not only comfortable, but is also overly expensive. You might be asking yourself, Ben, why should I spend money on underwear that is overly expensive? Just because it's comfortable. And let me tell you, you probably shouldn't. Like, I own a lot of MeUndies. I've been buying MeUndies regularly. The strategy I have for MeUndies is this. I ask for MeUndies for Christmas, and then on Christmas, I get like 3 or 4 pairs, and that just grows my collection of MeUndies underwear. Currently, I'm wearing purple MeUndies. They did get stained by bleach, which caused there to be a hole in them. But the hole is along the waistline, so they're still workable MeUndies, and these are obnoxiously expensive, so I keep the MeUndies. If I've said MeUndies too many times, I don't really care. This is my podcast, and I'll do what I want. This is your MeUndies advertisement. This podcast is also brought to you by Casper mattresses. I've never used a Casper mattress once in my life. However, I have used a mattress, and let me tell you, sleeping on something comfortable, it's nice. And if you want to sleep uncomfortable, use the code IDGF at checkout on Casper.com to get your That Wannabe Film Class sponsored Casper mattress. I can't vouch for it, but I can vouch for sleep. If it's not clear, these are all jokes. We're sponsored by nothing. Chloe, are you back?
Oh, God. Hello.
Back right now. Hello. You missed our sponsors.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Damn.
This podcast is sponsored by MeUndies and Casper, if you didn't know.
Oh.
Yep.
Like real shit?
No.
Okay. So
but I went on full vamps about both of them.
Okay. Shout out. That is funny. Oh goodness. Okay. Well, now that I'm back, we're gonna transition to our last segment, which is all the fun games.
Lit.
And also questions that didn't fit in any other category. It's just kind of stuck in here.
Also fair.
To make the more fun ones. Yeah.
Wow, it's like us in high school.
Crazy. So, let's see. First question comes from Levster. It's an executive action. Replace the main characters, including teachers, etc., of the Harry Potter movies with all American actors.
Ooh. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this. Okay. Well, let's see. Harry Potter is going to be played by, I hate that I want to say, Timothée Chalamet. Look, I didn't see these questions initially.
Fair.
Hermione's being played by, I forget her name, but no, I'm changing my mind. Hermione's being played by Zendaya.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm fully embracing the idea that...
I was going to say somebody that wasn't American. Never mind.
Who are you thinking of?
God. I was going to say like Tom Holland. Like, he's not American. What the fuck
He's
am
not
I
American,
thinking?
yeah.
No, he's not.
Again, the same thing with like casting each other. I feel like we just have to break the ideas of like age. So yeah. I'm trying to think of actors who are young-ish in the sense of like around the same age as the original Harry Potter cast, but not... Because Daniel Radcliffe is like in his late 20s now.
Yeah. Whoever just fits the role. I forget about age and all that.
Sure. Ron. Who would play Ron?
Who are American actors? Like, what I think of is like, oh, actually, they're Australian. Nope, they're, Irish. I'm like, how do you do such a great... Oh,
yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Who acts? Who does movies?
Who are actors? I don't know anyone anymore.
That's true.
Fuck, let's
make Draco. Oh God, damn it, he's not. Fuck. Okay, he's not American.
Everyone I think of is not American.
Let's see. Draco Malfoy, Michael Cera.
Yes. Love it.
Great. Ginny Weasley, i.e. the best character in the Harry Potter books / the most destroyed character by the Harry Potter movies, will be played by Holland Roden?
Okay.
Of Teen Wolf fame?
Okay.
I don't know. Like, Lydia's a good character. She could probably do Ginny.
Yeah, that could work out.
Yeah.
I think Cho Chang should be played by Scarlett Johansson.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay. By that logic.
Yeah.
Ron should be played by... Ooh. Why can't I think of this actor's name right now? That is not what I want. Stephen Yeun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snape can be played by Robert Downey Jr.
I'm sorry, I take it back.
Okay.
I take it back. Harry Potter is Stephen Yeun.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah,
much better.
I don't know who should be Ron. What were you saying?
Snape can be played by Robert Downey Jr.
Okay. Voldemort can be played by... Who plays the Ancient One in Doctor Strange /
Tilda Swinton?
Yeah, that's Voldemort.
Yeah.
Tilda
Okay.
Swinton.
Swinton.
Let's see. Who else exists? Dumbledore. Who's playing Dumbledore?
Who
Who are old? Martin Sheen.
Okay.
I feel like he could do
Take it. Yeah. Or consider this Brad Pitt.
Okay, I'm down with that. Sirius Black. We have to choose a Sirius Black, and he has to be hot. He has to be hot.
He has to be hot.
The movies kind of did Sirius Black dirty.
Kind of did. Who's hot and American?
Hot? Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I'm
like scrolling through my IMDb.
I'm like looking through my letterboxd.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, what are the popular movies? A lot of Leonardo DiCaprio movies. Like,
hear me out.
But
hear me out.
Okay.
Daveed Diggs.
Yes. Obviously. Okay. Done.
Fuck yeah. Remus
Hell
Lupin.
yeah, dude. I'm just gonna say Leonardo DiCaprio because I said him like 2 seconds ago, and that's who I
was gonna say like Keith Stanfield.
You know, even better. Do that.
Sweet.
Yes.
Am I definitely just thinking about the movies we just watched? Yes.
Yeah. Helps.
Yep. A little bit. Who else exists that is American? You know, a lot of actors aren't American. This is my takeaway.
I'm beginning to notice that. I'm like, you know what? These do bang up jobs of doing American accents, but
yep.
Boy, they're not American.
Who plays James and Lily Potter? You know what? They don't need to matter. They don't need to be big actors.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Are we forgetting anyone significant? Hagrid. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
There we go. He's American.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah, he's American.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think if we missed any super important ones. Probably, because I'm not a huge diehard Harry Potter fan, but
I am a diehard Harry Potter fan. I'm just thinking of this question on the go. I'm trying to not have lulls in the conversation. I'm also drinking. So.
Fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can move on to the next game.
Dope.
If you have. Okay. So, this also comes from Levster. Says, I saw a tweet a couple days ago of how the Star Wars movies have the wrong titles. Rearrange the titles of known sequels or retitle them yourselves with something you feel appropriate. Batman trilogy example would be fun.
I mean, Batman Begins makes sense.
He's beginning, and it's the beginning of the trilogy. That just making sense. Beginning.
Batman, The Dark Knight could be called Batman Ends because it's not really about Batman anymore.
Okay.
Yep.
Crazy. Second movie of the trilogy. He ends. That's it.
Yep. And wow, the person who likes the second movie in a trilogy called The Last Jedi chose a second movie trilogy name that is about ending.
Bad. Terrible.
The third one could be also okay. Well, this doesn't quite. Batman Returns.
He's back, baby.
Which is essentially what The Dark Knight Rises is based on, which is The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah. It's fine.
I don't know. What movies exist?
I'm trying to think of other trilogies that I know that, like, I'm thinking of, like, Transformers, but I'm like, I don't know what I would change the names of them to.
I feel like, I don't know, maybe How to Train Your Dragon could be given subtitles because they don't have subtitles until the third movie, which makes no sense.
You're right, that's weird. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Whack.
I don't know what I give them. I feel like this is a question that requires me to have like an hour of prep time.
Fair.
Yeah.
I forgot every single movie I've ever seen. I'm like looking at everything in my room. I'm like, okay, what here has subtitles that I can, I don't know.
What's that poster behind you? It looks like West Side Story, I think.
This one right there?
Yeah.
No, that's a Star Wars one. No, it's a Transformers.
Oh.
Revenge of the Sith.
I'm pretty sure it's a reference to West Side Story.
It might be. It's all stylized. I just got it because it's got General Grievous on it. Ha ha. You know?
Oh, that's what I'll do. It's the Star Wars trilogy. But the subtitles are just telling you if General Grievous is in it. So, Star Wars Episode 1, no General Grievous. Star Wars Episode 2, no General Grievous. Star Wars Episode 3, we have General Grievous. Star Wars Episode 4, General Grievous is gone again. Star Wars Episode 5, still no General Grievous. Star Wars Episode 6, seriously, you should understand that we don't have General Grievous anymore. Like, just get used to it. Star Wars Episode 7, General Grievous does not reawaken. Star Wars Episode 8, the last time we will tell you we don't have General Grievous. Star Wars Episode 9, the rise of us once again having to tell you we don't have General Grievous.
That's how I rank the Star Wars movies in my head. Based on how much or how little General Grievous is in it. Okay, so going off of that logic, I'm going to rename all the Transformers movies based on how much Starscream is in them. Sure. Transformers 1, very end. Not that much. Little Starscream. The Rise of Starscream, because he's at the very end.
Okay.
Revenge of the Fallen. He's in it. Somewhat. They're on top of a skyscraper and Megatron kind of kicks him around a little bit. That's normal. Not great. He's there, but doesn't do much.
Yeah.
Dark of the Moon. Probably the most Starscream. His best moments. Also dies.
Can I say Transformers 1?
Okay.
The Rise of Starscream.
Okay.
Transformers 2. Starscream is a sub.
Okay.
Transformers 3.
Subscream.
Impaling Starscream. Oh my god. Yes.
Subscream. Okay. That's 2. You said 3 was what?
Impaling Starscream.
Okay, but he doesn't die by being impaled. His head's blown off.
It doesn't matter. Okay, Starscream. Fine. Giving Starscream head.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Love it. Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. Only his head is in it. So no head, but it's only head.
Transformers
actually.
4,
But
Age of Starscream is extinct.
Yes. And then Transformers 5, The Last Night. This is the last time we'll no Starscream.
No Starscream.
No Starscream.
It's called The Last Night because you'll go to bed and you'll never think of Transformers again.
Exactly. That was the last night I ever thought about it.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Well, this leads great into our next question from Chai T, who has a Transformers question. Asks me, I'm assuming just me, you can, give your input, but Shockwave or Soundwave? I don't know. Ooh. Damn it, I like them both. I love my Decepticon boys. Gosh.
I'm going to say Shockwave.
I do really like Shockwave. He says, in my opinion,
I don't remember
Soundwave.
Which is which. I'm only saying it based off of name.
Fair. Shockwave is more of their scientist guy. Soundwave is their recon specialist guy.
This means nothing to me.
That's fine. That doesn't have to mean anything to you. Chai T says, in my opinion, Soundwave, he's a badass in Transformers Prime. That's true. But got done dirty in the Bravers, which is also true. Was a loyal con in the whole cartoon series. Can't wait to see what they do with him in the reboot movies.
I choose Shockwave because I want to rock his shocks off.
I fucking hate you because I wish I thought of that first. Damn it. Oh, God. I love it. I'm gonna steal that. Soundwave is like my friend Lee's boyfriend, so I'm gonna go with Shockwave. Just
okay.
Just so she can have her mans. She likes Soundwave, I like Starscream. And then Shockwave are both yes. Exactly. Shockwave has thick thighs for days, dude. What?
Which one has thick thighs?
Shockwave.
Ooh,
fucking thick as fuck. Choice. Are you kidding me?
Ooh, I made the right choice.
And like this person says they like Soundwave because he's a badass in Transformers Prime, which is true. But Shockwave is there when he's introduced. You just get a full just body shot. And just like, yes, objectifying.
I like thighs and hips.
Dude, he's got thighs. Oh boy, does he have thighs?
Perfect.
Love it.
Choice. He can shock me all day long.
Yes, thank you. God, I love it. Jesus Christ, perfect. Thank you. The next question, also from Chai T. My favorite General Grievous scene. You can also give your answer if you would like.
It's in Clone Wars when he transforms into the weird running spider thing.
I love when he does
when they're
that.
when they're invading his house.
Dude, they break into his house and kill his dog. It's so fucked up.
I know.
God,
but I love him.
He does that a lot. You know, it's a good
he
episode.
Does do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best of General Grievous.
That's true. I like when he does that. I think, well, when you first see him in the 2003 Clone Wars series, and he just like kills like 5 Jedi. The
2D animated by the creator of Dexter's Lab. Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
That dude makes some good television. Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, this.
Chef's Kiss, so good.
Have you watched his new show?
Is it like the Primal one? No, I haven't seen it.
Primal, yeah. I haven't seen it either, but I want to.
I'm assuming it's good because everything he makes is good.
He makes some good shit.
And then the last question from Chai T is favorite moment from the Jurassic Saga and what your hopes are for the next and final installment.
Ooh, I have no hopes for any installment of the Jurassic Saga. The only good Jurassic Park movie is the first Jurassic Park movie.
Correct.
Yep.
I didn't even see the second Jurassic World.
Neither did I. I enjoyed the first Jurassic World, but to be fair, I think I was skewed by it was super hot out and the theater was air conditioned.
Nice. Yeah, it was
very nice.
It was, yeah.
AC. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't like that movie that much in retrospect, having rewatched it. I love the first Jurassic Park movie, and thus, based off of that, my favorite Jurassic Park moment is probably Laura Dern seeing dinosaurs for the first time. Or like the T-Rex attacking them. I don't know.
Like in the rain, like that's a really good.
Yeah, it's iconic and it's hoary, but like Laura Dern.
Also true.
Yeah.
But also like dinosaurs, you know?
Yeah, dinosaurs. But Laura Dern and dinosaurs.
True. Hold on. Favorite moment from the Jurassic Saga. I can't remember if it's the second or the third one. But when the guy's in the fucking plane, it's a Velociraptor, and he's like, "Sup, dude," or whatever the fuck the says.
I'm almost positive it's the third one, but I cannot tell you for sure.
I think it's the third one. I can't even remember what the Velociraptor says. It says the dude's name, and I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
That's my favorite moment because it's so
Jurassic
stupid.
Park is so fucking good.
Really is.
Steven Spielberg deserves more respect on his name.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. He makes
he's rich as fuck. Shit.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like he's treated by like elite film culture as like the mainstream director, and like Steven Spielberg makes better movies than Stanley Kubrick. Shut the fuck up.
That's true. That's very true.
It is very true.
Yeah. Fuck Stanley Kubrick. He's Denis Villeneuve is the better version.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a better version of Quentin Tarantino. I just don't care about Quentin Tarantino.
I don't either.
I don't want to say that.
Fuck him.
He makes the same thing constantly. Yes. I don't like, I like some of his movies, but I'm not interested in his style.
Yeah, no, I don't trust anyone that says he's their favorite director, because I'm like,
that's fair.
I feel like you hate women or something like that, you know? Yes.
Like, I've gone through stages of liking Quentin Tarantino movies. I used to like Reservoir Dogs a lot. Now I don't really care for it. But I don't know. I never loved Tarantino. I never felt like he was amazing. There's things he's good at. I think he's very good at dialogue. But like, I don't give two shits about his plot or his storylines.
I don't think I've seen a single Tarantino movie all the way through.
That's fair. I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It has no plot for the most part, which is both its worst quality and kind of its best, because it's also what Quentin Tarantino's worst at. So like,
Okay. It just kind of balances out.
Yeah. I Can Glorious Bastards.
I've heard it's
That's
good.
about it. Those are the two that I really think are great. That's not true. I don't know if I would call Once Upon a Time in Hollywood great. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is good. Glorious Bastards is great. The rest exists.
Accept it.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyways. I should have brought this up earlier when we were talking about it, but Adam says not exactly a film, but if you loved 12 Angry Men, you should watch the British anthology series called Inside Number 9. Dark comedy where every episode is set in one place with a small cast. Not exactly a film, but every episode is like a play. Would love to hear you guys covering some episodes. Good luck in your future endeavors. Came here with text. So that's interesting.
I've been trying to get back into TV because I haven't been watching much TV.
Mm-hmm. Me neither.
Like, the Emmys announced all the TV shows that they have up for Best Drama and Best Comedy this year. And I looked at the list and I was like, I've seen very little of you.
Let me recommend Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
You haven't seen it.
I watched the first episode and I could not get into it. But
fair.
It's only one episode and pilots are often bad. So maybe I will like it. I don't know.
I really like it. It's got its moments and made me want to cry sometimes. It's very heartwarming.
Interesting.
And also genuinely funny.
I'll try it out. 1 second. Hello. My recording stopped. I don't know when. I don't know why. But it did.
Same.
Which is fun. It was like there's 2 hours and 14 minutes of recording, so I'm assuming we didn't lose that much time. But we lost some time. So if you asked a question, and I'm going to have to cut that out
the dead air
in editing because Chloe recorded from that time onward and I did not for whatever reason because the system hates me. I apologize. We were talking about TV and all I have to say is watch The Great on Hulu. It's amazing.
There we go. Anyways, I've got about, let's see, 2 questions from our friend Darby, who says, when is the Tangled episode coming out? Tangled's another episode that would have been fun to talk about.
I like Tangled. It's a good movie.
Too. It's a very good movie.
I miss Disneyland.
Dude, I want to go to Disney so fucking bad.
Look, move to Los Angeles. Once Disney reopens and we have like a coronavirus-free world, or at least coronavirus-mitigated world.
Yeah.
You'll have access to it. Perfect.
We just gotta wait until then. It's fine.
I mean, like,
like, you know.
I feel like from this point going forward, yes, it's still like far off. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Like, if you moved here, I feel like it's not that far off.
True.
Even if you have to wait a year, if you're living in LA and establishing a life, and you go to Disneyland like a year later, that's not that bad.
True.
Yeah. Disneyland.
Disneyland. I'll do it for Disney.
Insert Little Women gif here where Joe March goes, women. Let's just be going Disneyland.
Valid. We'll make that a meme. So sending off gift present. Darby's other question was, how many of these questions are about robots? Did Chloe cry about it? Surprisingly, I think we were headed...
Surprisingly few. Also, based off of your titles, I feel like you're being associated with Syndrome more than robots and General Grievous now.
Let's go! You know?
Happy for you.
I'm very happy with this. I'm not going to complain. Mm-hmm. Listen, currently hyperfixating on Incredibles and Syndrome right now, so this is fine with me. Mm-hmm. My sister Kaylee yelled at me the other day. She's like, why are you changing your brand? I'm like, okay, I've been dealing with General Grievous for like, I don't know how long.
You have.
Feels like years.
Your sister scares me.
She scares me too. She scares a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You know that John Mulaney joke about like middle schoolers being the most scary people?
Yeah, because they know exactly how to.
That's Kaylee.
That is exactly her. Yes. She knows exactly how to insult me, and I'm like, yes. It's fine. That about wraps up all of the questions. I've got some nice things people said about us if you want me to read those.
I love compliments.
Gosh, it's just, a lot of good luck with your future endeavors. Can't wait to see what you do in the future. Trevor says, no question, just wanted to say thanks for sharing your time and talents with us this year. I'm immensely proud of you two and can't wait to see where you go from here. I look forward to a day where we can all hang out again when the world isn't on fire. Love to you both. Thank you, Trevor.
Trevor, you're welcome. You're fucking lucky to have us. We are the best you've ever dealt with. We are gods, basically. We are immortals walking this earthly plane. The fact that you were able to capture us for as long as you did is frankly a miracle. And now we are free to reclaim the world in our image.
I love how we started this podcast with you yelling at me for calling myself a deity, and then we end on here. And I think that's a really great character growth moment for you.
That's true. I fucked up.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, gosh. Our friend Ian says, not a question for this last part, but I am proud of the work y'all did. Doing a podcast can be super hard, and I'm glad y'all worked so hard on this project. Cheers to the next projects y'all work on. Thank you, Ian. Death, exactly.
The next project is death.
It's a very difficult task to undertake, but I think we can make something beautiful out of it. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Does it mean we're dying? Does it mean we're becoming Hades, master of the underworld? Who can say? The point is, death is our bitch now.
I think I could be like a modern day Persephone, because I would definitely marry like the king of the underworld, the god of death.
I mean, he did trick you into it in that scenario.
No, I would do it willingly. This is the modern interpretation.
Okay.
I'd be like, you're sexy, and then I just do it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like Hades is like underappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, there's storylines of Hades where he's a shithead, don't get me wrong. But, like, first of all, he didn't choose to be the god of death.
That's true.
It was kind of forced on him because his brothers were like, we want to be the gods of the sky and, like, the water.
They called shotgun. He was like, fuck, I wasn't fast enough. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then also just, like, he's not, like, first of all, he's not Satan, where he's, like, controlling specifically the world where the bad people go, which also isn't inherently a bad thing, but he's just the god of where people go after they die. Like, that's just a natural part of life. Like, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. It's,
Hades deserves respect.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And then our last message is, thank you for being wonderful friends and collaborators. Thank you so much for making such wonderful content for us all to enjoy. This isn't goodbye so much as a see you soon. Chloe, I'll see you in your Twitch chat, twitch.tv/EchoClo. And Ben, I'll see you in hell. Just kidding. We're already here. Love you both. Cameron.
Thanks, that makes sense. That checks out.
We are already in hell. Yes.
I mean, he says he'll see us again, but like, not if we move to Europe/Asia and live in a small town with no Wi-Fi.
It's true.
I'm making points.
You are making points. We say Europe and Asia, but like, I made the tweet about a remote island the other day, and honestly, sounds pretty good right now.
We could go to the most remote island.
I think No Madison Island is a real place, and I'm gonna live there.
Okay, that's an option. Do you just not want to deal with Madison?
I hate you. I hate you.
Thank you.
I hate you.
That's fine.
This is how we end the podcast, with me hating you. But it started like this too.
I feel like this has been the case for a long time, and you just haven't said it.
That's also very true. I've said it multiple times, though. Yeah. Many times.
Yeah. But you're such a meme that does anyone believe it? No.
That is my curse.
Yep.
But also a blessing, because I am never serious.
Blessing out of Yoda Jr.?
I'm gonna fucking strangle you, I think.
No, but seriously, let's move to Tuvalu.
Okay.
It's the least visited country on the planet. It's a strip of island. You can see the ocean from both. Like, if you stand in the middle of Tuvalu and look left, you see the ocean. Okay. And if you look right, you also see the ocean.
I'm down. Let's go. Let's do it.
Sick.
I'm in. And that wraps up this week's episode of the podcast, and also the podcast.
The podcast. This existence's episode of the podcast.
Exactly. I like going to your like last week's guide, like go off of like, okay, what do I say next? It's like next week's episode. There is no next week, guys. This is it.
Nothing.
Chloe,
what are your Chloe-zing thoughts?
What are my Chloe-zing thoughts? Wow. You know what? This podcast has been fun. It's been a ride. I've watched movies that I never thought I'd watch before. I got to talk about the movies that I never shut up about anyways. It gives me an outlet for that. I still need more, but that's fine.
Sure.
I think I've said my piece about my movies.
Are you going to start using Amazon Prime's Twitch thing so that you can do Twitch streams of movies you like?
I should, because I've noticed that Dark of the Moon is on that list. It's on Prime. And
instead of just watching a weird dubbed Spider-Man PS4 thing?
Yeah, but that's also really fun. It's like, because you get fun, inside jokes. It's Chloe, like, hey, Ben, can I ask you a personal question?
But Chloe.
Yes.
You understand, technically, you are streaming machinima.
Yeah. Next
which means
step is watching Red versus
Blue. It all comes back to Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
And do you really want that?
Red vs. Blue gave me Felix. I'm not going to completely complain about it.
Red vs. Blue gave you Felix after 10 seasons.
Yeah, and that's fine. Before that, it was Washington, and I really liked Wash.
Washington was great. I love Wash.
He was great.
Yeah.
Kind of missing.
Is Washington hotter than Felix? Yes. Is it because he doesn't have Miles Luna's voice? Partly.
Okay. Fair. Take it.
I know. I went for the thing I knew you couldn't argue.
God damn it. Okay. Well,
did you watch the 2.5 hour long Ruby teardown?
I did. It was fun. I want more.
It's also right.
It's correct. Yes.
I don't know why I watched it because I don't care about Ruby or that YouTuber enough to watch it. No, but I did.
That shit is so much fun. I love watching just video essays of like things I've never seen before, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. Just tear it apart. Okay, yeah, go off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it makes some fair points.
It really does. He do be making points.
Yeah. My biggest issue with Ruby has always been seasons go by and nothing happens.
Oh yeah.
Nothing happens.
No.
Season 6 happened and I watched it and it got to the end and it got to a moment that should have been like the midpoint of the season. And I was just like, I don't care. How are you 6 seasons in and nothing's progressed?
It takes a long time for things to get moving.
Yep.
Let's see. Ben, have you seen anything or watched anything cool? Done anything this week?
Yeah. I watched The Great and it's really, really good. It's on Hulu.
Did you say you watched The Great, but you didn't say it was great?
Yeah, I wanted to avoid saying that.
Damn it, come on.
Cultured.
No.
It stars Elle Fanning and Nicholas Hoult, and they both give fantastic performances. It's about Catherine the Great, but it's also like only loosely based on her. So like the main character, Elle Fanning's character, is Catherine the Great. Mm-hmm. But even like literally the title card of the show says an occasionally true story. So it bends reality a lot for its own sake. Okay. It's very funny, but it's also very dramatic. All the characters are incredible. Nicholas Hoult kind of makes that show. Like, for as good as Elle Fanning is, and she is, Nicholas Hoult is just given a really good character. He's funny and like endearing, but also the worst. And you both root for his death and also do not want him to die. And it's so good. I really, really like The Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Maybe I'll check it out. Where is it? Where's it streaming?
It's from the writer. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
It's from the writer of The Favorite. So if you like The Favorite, you'll probably like this. However,
still gotta watch that.
While I enjoyed The Favorite, I was afraid of watching a show that had that vibe for 10 episodes. So I will tell you and the audience, it is not as constantly weird as The Favorite is. And I feel like that's important because that definitely dissuaded me for a long time where I was like, oh, this is The Favorite, the TV show. And it's not. There's definitely qualities that remind me of it, but it is not just if you took that movie and stretch it into a TV show. It is a lot less constantly intense. It is a lot more traditionally funny. in dark ways, but still like more traditionally funny. It's great.
Interesting.
What have you been watching or seen that's good?
I have been watching. Okay, so I know like the hot new Transformers thing is that everyone's watching War for Cybertron Siege on Netflix. The first, it's like part of a trilogy. So the first chapter dropped. It's like 6 episodes, each 20 minutes long. It's okay. It's not the best Transformers thing I've ever seen. It's not the worst either. It's nice to look at.
What's the best Transformers thing you've ever seen?
Okay, so my go-to answer is always Prime, because I grew up watching that, and that's how I made most of my friends, got me into editing and all that fucking shit. But I think going back, it still stands up, but not as like, it has a lot of flaws. But, so while War for Cybertron is on, I would actually recommend watching Cyberverse instead. The first season is also on Netflix, but also everything is on YouTube. Episodes are like 10 minutes long. Definitely more kid-friendly, especially like the first season is kind of rough. It does still have its moments, but it's definitely geared towards kids. But as you get into like the second and third seasons, it covers like, it's got like everything. Like, you like Beast Wars, there's a furry in it, you got that. You got your normal Autobots versus Decepticons. They got them all teaming up to fight a bigger evil. Starscream's like the bad guy at the end of 2 seasons, and I'm like, go off, King. He really fucking he does some wild shit. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. Keep going though. And it's got like characters from the comics that I've never seen on screen before, which makes me very happy.
Interesting.
So I would actually recommend watching Cyberverse if you're choosing between Cyberverse and War for Cybertron, go with Cyberverse. It's got better writing too, and voice acting. Yeah.
Is it weird to you that Rooster Teeth,
yes,
a web series and company that like fundamentally shaped you and gave you friendships and basically created who you are now, has created a show in the universe that you love so much and you don't care about it that much? It's
kind of weird. I'm like, okay, theoretically, this is like the perfect thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just okay. It's decent. And I'm like, it didn't blow me away. The only thing I kept looking at was fucking Megatron's huge ass lips. I'm like, he doesn't need lips that big. I even like Megatron that much, so it's not for me.
Insert he has no lips. How are you going to get a kiss TikTok audio button reverse?
God, he has the lips, but I don't want to give him a kiss.
How are you going to...
I don't want to give him a kiss. No thanks. No thanks. No thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what I didn't write down is like what we say, like podcast services and all that shit. Like, I don't fucking know.
Sure. If you've enjoyed this episode, you can rate us and review us on iTunes. We'd appreciate it. I don't know what we're doing in the future, but still, having the validation is good and nice, and we are both desperate for human approval.
Exactly.
You can subscribe to us on whatever podcast service you prefer: Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. I don't know why you would, as we are not releasing anything ever again under this show, if not anywhere. I mean, Chloe's doing Twitch, but if you want to watch through our old episodes and remember that we exist, you can still subscribe, so you can do that. This episode is nothing like our old episodes, except for the pure unbridled chaos of Chloe and I, which does exist in some of the other episodes because we're fucking great.
Yes, we are.
That's true. If you want to support that nerdy site, you can go to thatnerdysite.com/Patreon. That's not correct. You can go to patreon.com/thatnerdysite. There we go. And support. If you go to thatnerdysite.com/Patreon, you'll be very confused because I'm pretty sure you'll go to nowhere.
Probably lead somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably lead to like a 404 page.
Probably. I don't know. Try it out.
Yeah.
Let us know.
There you go. Yeah. Chloe?
Ben, where can people find you?
People can find me at Mr. Bentabox everywhere. Once again, for the last time, I'm so glad I can say that. You can find me at Mr. Bentabox on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Letterboxd. Chloe, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere at EchoClo. That is on Instagram. That's on TikTok. That's on Twitter. That's on Twitch. On Letterboxd. If you still want to hear my movie opinions, every time I watch a movie, I will put a review up on Letterboxd. It will be a dumb one-sentence jokey review. So if you missed...
Over the weekend, you watched Incredibles, and I assumed that meant you were in a bad place because you were choosing to watch one of your favorite movies.
Yes. I ran out of time over the weekend because after Incredibles, I was going to watch Transformers Dark of the Moon. So that is where my head was at.
Yep, you were really in a place.
I was in a place. I'm like, you know what? I gotta watch movies to make me feel better. And I did. And I felt great. If
I wasn't in the middle of loving The Great, I would have rewatched Sing Street in the past couple days.
Fair. As an update, that time I watched Incredibles on, I think it was Sunday. That is my 10th time reviewing that.
Nice.
Since getting Letterboxd. Love it. That number's only going to keep going up.
I mean, I'd be alarmed if it went down.
Yeah, if I started deleting my reviews, if I start hating the movie, something's wrong. I only hated that movie when I didn't want people to find out that I liked Syndrome, and now here I am. But yeah, that's the end of the podcast.
For listeners, thank you so much for listening to us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for checking out the podcast. I realize you probably came here because of Chloe, because she is A, very funny and has an established online brand of being very funny. She is an attractive woman, and you're all fucking simps. But we appreciate you sticking around.
Thank you. Love it. This was a good time. Hey,
you
thanks.
are one of my best friends. And it's fucking wild that you became one of my best friends who I made a podcast with from being that random person that popped up behind us in PSX and then ended up being appeared.
So I show up in people's lives. I show up behind them and be like, oh my God, Uncharted, or like whatever I'm into at that time. That's how I show up in your lives.
It's the Obi-Wan hello there gif, but instead of popping up from the bottom of a screen, you just pop up behind people.
Yes.
Hello
exactly.
There. Yeah.
Hey.
You're incredibly funny, and you make really good online content, and you deserve the world. And I will kill 95% of the internet to make your dreams a reality. Because you deserve it. Not because I want to like support you, just because like you actively deserve it. And I am a competitive bitch who thinks that because you deserve it, they deserve to die for you.
I'll take it. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Stop being emotional. I tried doing that earlier when you left, and I'm like, actually, I can't do that because I don't know how to do that. Ben,
what do you mean you tried doing that when I left?
Because I can't say nice things to the person's face.
That's true. I can.
Ben, you've been a great best friend and a great co-host for this podcast. You're really smart, and I enjoy watching movies or discussing movies with you.
That's very sweet.
I gotta go throw up now. I'm sorry.
See, I can be emotional because I don't feel it that much. It's an interesting dichotomy because I can say it because it doesn't hit me. You can't say it because it does hit you. So in reality, you're the more emotional person here.
No, I don't have emotions. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thanks,
Chloe,
guys.
I love you dearly. Thank you so much for doing this podcast.
Love you, Ben.
Come move to LA. Love you too.
Will do. Have an incredible day.
Oh my fucking God.
Yes.
Sing to your street's content. I don't fucking know.
That's how we sign off.